Howdy, gang. How are you? Happy Monday. Welcome back to Katawa Shoujo Mondays. They're finally back. And actually on Monday, and not Wednesday. Howdy, Wing of Shu. Hi, Shadow. Holy crap, you all have entirely way too many points. Honestly fair. Hi, Turbs. I'm excited. Because I'm always excited for Katawa Shoujo. How could I not be excited for Katawa Shoujo? This game's awesome. I don't really have anything to say. I've been taking it easy on getting things ready. I want to I guess de-stress is the right word. I want to relax a little before I jump headfirst into getting everything ready. So I haven't really been doing much behind the scenes, but we'll get started. I'll make some progress on the Linux PC. Hopefully we can get that hopefully I can start streaming on that soon. I gotta get the VTube stuff ready. There's some progress on that. It's a little tricky because the things on Windows just work. They don't just work on Linux. There's a little bit of technical know-how and finagling to get things to work. But man, once you do get it work, it's good. It's good. And then after that, I think I need to set up something for the debut of the new model. Like I said, I don't want to do just the model. I've been coming up with some ideas in the background. Should be fun. Anyway, I think that's it. I think that's all I have for now for that sort of stuff. Why don't we get started with Katawa Shoujo? I was just gonna say, Turbs, you were that close to having 69 420 points. In fact, didn't you have someone had like 69 420 points a little bit ago? Who was that? Was it you? I mean, you're like right there. Have you been trying to keep your points like around that number? Is that your secret? I see. That's your secret. I had 8,085. Yeah, a long time ago. Or maybe 80,085. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds right. Anyway, let's hop on in. Let's go to the most recent save, 22nd corner. Alrighty then. Hi, Muto. I asked you a question, Nakai. I shake my head to fend off the dazedness. The teacher's looking at me, as is everyone else in the class. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. What's the distance between... Never mind. Different question. Why are you here? In this class? To, learn about physics? Yes, well... No. But that's the answer I wanted to hear. To acquire knowledge is the secondary reason for you being in this school. The primary one is to learn the rules of society, the norms and ethics that govern your everyday life. You don't come to school for the classes, you come to interact with the other people there. Your classmates who are your equals and the teachers who are your superiors. You learn how to form social contracts and maintain them. In other words, you learn how to be a part of society. The school itself is a microcosm of the entire society. Locke was the one who realized that, you know? School's not just a place for learning. And of all the kids your age, you guys should know that better than anyone else. He pauses for a moment and lets his eyes sweep over the class to see if the message sunk in. At the very least, it shut everyone up and got them to focus on him, captivated either by his voice or the sudden change of topic from physics to the philosophy of education. However, my classes, as you so aptly put, are a place for learning about physics. He points at me with a piece of chalk he's holding. So, no sleeping during class. Got it, Nakai? Yes, sir. With the corner of my eye, I catch Shizune's scowl and Misha's barely contained giggle. I sink deeper into my seat. After classes end, I'm the last one to leave the classroom. I close the door behind me and quietly make my way to the art room. Club time passes in relative peace and quiet. I sit in my usual seat next to Rin, but she doesn't seem to be in a talkative mood. She's even more distant than usual. Today we are going to draw still life and get to choose from either a vase full of fake flowers or an arrangement of rocks, sticks, and canvas. The teacher encourages us to gather around the preferred motif, emphasizing perspective, texture, and lighting as the key points of this exercise. I look at Rin to see if she prefers one of the subjects over the other, but she just tilts her head, signifying nothing. The club members quickly shuffle their chairs around the classroom to get closer to either the vase or the clutter. Rin and I both pick the flower vase, but only one of us seems to do any work. She's ignoring Nomiya's assignment, just like she's suddenly started ignoring me, and has begun doodling something idly with her foot, not really even looking at what she's drawing. I try to catch her gaze, but she's looking out the window. It's making me uneasy. I like how Rin sometimes looks like her eyes are both pointing in opposite ways. She do be a little derpy. Rin almost looks like she's asleep with the way she's leaning back against the chair with her legs resting easily on the desk. She's now completely given up on the drawing. The more I try to relax, ignore her, and just be myself, the more it feels like I should ask if something's wrong. I think she just has artist block, to be honest. After club activities are over and others have filed out, Rin gets up from her seat and marches over to Nomiya with the unusual determination. I'll do it. Hi, Thomas. Nomiya, who was humming to himself while sorting a box of pencils by hardness, turns around with a mixed expression of friendliness and incomprehension on his face. What will you do, my girl? The gallery person. I can talk with that person. At least yesterday I thought I could. And today, too. I think I want to try it. I'm gonna go all the way. The widest smile I've ever seen on any person's face lights up the teacher's features. The teacher's features, I like that. He is almost literally beaming. Oh, wonderful. I had almost lost hope. Such a hard-headed girl you are, but I knew that sooner or later you'd understand as well. I will call my good friend Sayoniji and arrange a meeting. I think it's Sayonji, actually, my bad. You'll need to show her your work so she can estimate it.
Teacher's features.
Teacher's features. How's your day, Ori? Busy. But not like the bad busy, just the busy. The work busy, you know? I've told her about you, but obviously you should talk face to face. This is so exciting, isn't it? Nomiya is talking more to himself than to us and walking in circles around his desk, waving his hands around wildly all the while. He picks up his cell phone from the breast pocket of his jacket and flips it open with a stylish movement, starting to look for the number to call. While he searches, he notices me staring and gives me a beaming thumbs up. I shrug back at him, doing my best not to look smug. Nomiya finds the number and makes the call, turning away from us and lowering his voice once it goes through. Even so, I can hear his excited tone. The call doesn't last long. Fabulous. Sai is at the gallery right now, and she said we could stop by right away if that's fine. This is most excellent. Do you have some kind of portfolio to show, Rin? She just shakes her head at the question.
You are always smug.
True. Never fear, I've taken some photos of your paintings. We can bring those and maybe a couple originals with us. Those will be quite sufficient for now. There should be some recent ones around here in the back, right? He pulls out a folder full of photos out of a desk drawer, then charges towards the back, where there's a small storage room and extra cabinets for all the materials and tools the art classes and club use. He soon finds what he's looking for and crudely wraps two of Rin's paintings in some brown packing paper. Nakai, would you carry these to my car? I pick up the two oil paintings. They aren't heavy, but they do make navigation somewhat cumbersome as I follow Nomiya and Rin to the parking lot. Nomiya has a pretty nice car. Not something I'd expect a high school teacher to drive. Wonder what kind of salaries they earn at Yamaku. That's actually a pretty good question. It's a private school, and one for disabled, so they probably aren't doing too poorly in money. So what are the teachers' salaries? I mean, think about it. If you teach at a school full of disabled kids, you need to have skills that regular teachers might not have. So they probably get paid decently well. The canvases are stuffed into the trunk, where they just barely fit. At the teacher's over-enthusiastic prompting, I get in the car along with them. Rin answers my questioning stare with a confirming nod and a nonchalant shrug. I guess I've become some sort of assistant for her now. Nomiya doesn't go light on the pedal. The smooth ride takes just about 10 minutes to bring us to the city center, where we pull into a tiny parking lot and get out of the car. I pick up the paintings again, looking around. It's just like any city in Japan, really. Same style of buildings, people hurrying here and there, office workers sweating in their suits in the summer heat. Wide, tree-lined streets aren't something you see everywhere, though. Maybe they are this city's specialty. Are the skills required known as eccentrics? All the teachers there have it in spades. I was gonna say maybe not Muto, but no, he's actually really into the sciences, so no, he is kind of eccentric like that. So it checks out. It definitely has that feel of a city, which I thought I had already forgotten. I feel immediately comfortable walking around. I haven't actually been here before. No, in that case, it's about time. It's a great city, lots of wonderful folk around here, and most important of all, a vibrant cultural life. Ah, Sai's place is just around the corner. After turning around 3 more corners, Nomiya stops in front of a door. There's a nameplate in big red letters over it. 22nd corner. Is this really the 22nd corner? Of what? That's bothering me too. I mean, where to start counting? And which way do you count? Rin gets worked up over the strangest things. Unlike me, Nomiya ignores her completely and pushes the door open. The gallery is very clean looking, and the air conditioning makes it cool and very comfortable. The white walls and big windows facing onto the busy street make the whole place feel airy and bright. There's nobody around whom I can see, however. Most of the floor space is empty, with only a few large tables and a counter for furniture. There are paintings too, of course. A poster advertises an exhibition for an artist I've never heard of. Most of his works seem to be portraits or landscapes done in a more traditional style than Rin's abstraction. Summoned by the bell on the door, a lady who looks maybe around Nomiya's age comes from around the corner. She's dressed in a sharp suit, her straight dark hair in a perfect ponytail behind her head. A pair of flashy, expensive-looking eyeglasses frame her eyes. On second glance, I'm not so sure of her age anymore. She looks old and yet not actually old. Sai, hello! She clearly recognizes the teacher, greeting him warmly. Oh, there you are, Shinichi. And so quickly. I take it that these two are your students. Indeed, let me introduce you. This is Rin Tezuka, the one I spoke to you about. And the healthy-looking lad over there is Hisao Nakai. She takes a long, hard look at the both of us, especially Rin. Feels like we're being evaluated. That a worth of some abstract kind is being calculated for us. Her eyes linger for a long time on Rin. On her eyes, her empty sleeves tied in knots. Her posture. Sai takes her first impression of Rin with an intensity I've not seen used by anyone else before. Once finished, she smiles amiably. Pleased to meet you both. My name is Sai Saionji, and I'm the owner of this gallery. Could I maybe offer you some tea? Oh, no thank you, we're fine. Let's get down to business. To defeat the hunt. Sorry, had to. Nomiya is a ball of positivity like Misha. Muto is obsessed with science. And the nurse has it going on with Emmy's mom. True. lay the paintings on a tabletop to give the gallery owner a better view, and Nomiya pulls out his folder of photos. The old lady studies Rin's works carefully, absent-mindedly brushing her cheeks with her fingers while letting her gaze sweep over the paintings. Her eyes remind me of a bird of prey of some sort. They're so sharp and somehow very calculating. She takes her time, slowly going over the paintings in order without uttering a single word. Even the teacher looks very nervous. He tries to point out certain details and other things about Rin's work, but it seems like she's not listening. While Nomiya and I keep looking at Sai, trying to look for some hint of reaction on the gallery owner's face, Rin lets her gaze wander around the gallery space. Suddenly, she pipes up. Is this really the 22nd corner? Oh, I gotta love it. Sai raises her gaze from the paintings to look at Rin, but doesn't answer. It's probably for the best. She takes stock of Rin's slouchy posture and her dreamy eyes that are again moving restlessly about. The way Rin seems to be detached from a situation that's supposed to be very important for her annoys me just a little. I'm practically holding my breath here. Hi, Gung-Ho. After Sai has gone through all of Nomiya's photos and inspected the 2 oil paintings I hauled here, she goes through all the material again, this time at a quicker pace. Finally, she gives her verdict. I like it. Though, if you don't mind me saying, you're still a bit immature. Searching for your own direction, perhaps? She picks up one of the photos. Still, just look at this. I just can't take my eyes off it. Like a little kitten playing around. That's what your art makes me feel, young lady. Thank you, I think. Nobody has ever said that before, I think. That's all that Rin has to say. Something about what the gallery owner says and how she says it makes it sound patronizing to me, but I hold my tongue. Anyway, what a wonderful imagination, though, isn't it? I've always said that Tezuka has a great eye for composition and color harmony, and technique. Remember, all these are done with her feet. Is that all that you care about? Of course, we need to put some of the simpler ones on display too, for the lay people. Lay people? The lay people, right, Sai? The teacher snorts derisively. Derisive? Isn't she supposed to be a patron? I think I'm stupid. I don't follow. You know how those Philistines are. What do they understand about real art? They just be at a loss with the abstractions and themes here. Oh my god, he is a start snob. Have I ever said before that I don't really like Nomiya? Because I don't really like Nomiya. But it'll generate more publicity, and that's good, isn't it? Sai smiles gently at Nomiya's remark and turns back to the paintings. I wonder. To tell you the truth, I just don't know if all this makes an exhibition. Even if I like it, I don't get the feel of a theme, of cohesion. There's no over, and really, who would expect such from a young artist like the kitten here? Oh, no, it's definitely doable, especially if we get a few new pieces and touch up some old ones. I don't mind painting more, I'll do anything. It's a bit of a stretch. Trust me, I wouldn't have come to you if I didn't believe Tezuka was ready. You can see it too, can't you? I know exactly what her kind is capable of. What do you mean by her kind? And you know too. Those words give the galleryist lady a pause. A hollow, bottomless look takes over her eyes for a moment, as if she was looking through, or maybe past, Nomiya. She says nothing, but her mouth becomes a tight, flat line, as if stretched. Finally, the moment passes. Is that what you're saying? That's what I'm saying. Sai sighs and takes a few steps, walking in a circle as if to help organize her thoughts. She takes another look at a photo of the painting she particularly liked, the one that made her call Rin a kitten. I don't stop saying kitten. I just can't not think of discard kitten. I hate it. She places her hand over her mouth, lost for words. After a few moments, she shakes her head. I don't know what to say. After seeing you, dear, and these paintings of yours, would you excuse us for a moment? I want to talk to your teacher in private for a bit. Sai draws the art teacher aside, and they talk in hushed tones for a while. I can't hear what they're saying, but over her shoulder, I can see the lines around the corners of her mouth tighten as she motions with her hands in time with her words. Rin isn't armed to handle these two. The expression on her face is... What kind of expression is it? I couldn't say. Once they're done discussing whatever they had to discuss, they give one another a serious look. I feel something that goes beyond mere words transpiring there. Oh my god, I just got attacked by a vicious yawn. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna die. And they walk back towards us, to us. Sai looks seriously at Rin, her left hand reaching as if instinctively towards a pack of cigarettes that's lying on the table. She picks up the pack and extracts one, looks at it absent-mindedly as if only now realizing she did so, and puts it back. Finally, she locks eyes with Rin, evaluating her once more. All right, little kitten, I'm gonna believe in you. No, I'm not making... No, I'm not making the joke. I can't stop thinking about it, but it's making me laugh. All right, Discord kitten, I'm gonna believe in you. We're gonna put your art up on the... No. I will display your paintings in here, but from what I can see, this is not enough. You don't really have a cohesive theme, and you don't have enough of the good stuff. You're gonna have to work hard to actually get something that we can put on an exhibit here. I know. It's a good thing my gallery is so small, no? Rin already... Oh, it's me speaking. Say too easy, but also low-hanging fruit is good. Yeah. Nearly finished the Rin round? What do you... I can't be nearly finished the Rin round. There's still, like... We're, like, just started Act 3, and there's still Act 4 to go. We're not nearly finished. Unless I'm, like, on track for a bad ending, in which case, maybe. Vern already spends pretty much every free waking moment she has painting. How is it possible to work any harder? She'd have to skip classes to do more than she already does. And how can anyone work that much? Silence falls in the gallery after my words. Sai looks at the art teacher, who is looking contemplatively at his star student. I look at all three of them, confused. It's doable. What do you mean? I mean, the school is special. The board puts great value on things such as this. I'm sure I can arrange some leave for her. It's not unprecedented by any means. I'll discuss it with her parents, too. But they've been quite supportive. I haven't even thought of her parents once. I want to meet them now. However, it might be a bit of a stretch to get working space for her at the school if she's not actually going to attend classes. Actually, I was thinking about this before. Do you use the place upstairs for anything? No, I don't. Haven't since back then. It's more like a landfill than an atelier now. What do you mean you have to meet the parents in a dating sim like that? Yeah, I'm gonna walk up to her parents. Yes. The first things I say after I meet Rin's parents, I walk right up to the father, stare him dead in the eyes and say, I want your daughter's hand in marriage. He looks back at me, dead in the eye, and says, what hands? Upstairs? I own a small atelier apartment on the top floor of this building, but it hasn't been used in for... Goodness, it's been so long, hasn't it?
Does this route not have more features over Emmy's route? It
Feature.
would only make sense that you need more of a hand in taking the right choices at least.
Male-to-male communication really is wonderful. Instead, Hisao walks up and he says to the father, "I'd like to take your daughter's foot in marriage." Sorry. We'll get back to it. Her eyes leap to Nomiya, who has a strange, muted expression on his face. Indeed. Do you think... Even Nomiya, in all his brashness, has trouble coming straight out with the question. Sai, of course, sees through him and throws up her hands, sighing deeply. Sai sighs. I guess I can't say no, can I? Very well, I'll lend you the use of that place as well, if needed. It's not like I really use it. Excellent, I knew I could count on you. Don't celebrate yet, it really is a mess, so don't be shocked when you first see it. However, you can use it as you see fit. Since it's atelier, it already has easels and things like that. You'll need only your own tools and materials, and to somehow clean up a bit. It's not habitable though, so I can't let you live there. I doubt your school or parents would allow that, in any case. Okay. However, it's convenient to crash there overnight if necessary. I won't mind. Most excellent, isn't it, Tezuka? He enthusiastically pats Rin on the shoulder, laughing in relief and happiness, as if all this good fortune landed on him personally. Sai smiles as well, perhaps more amused by the old teacher's glee than anything else. Oh dear, Shinichi, this really is like back then. Are you sure we all haven't bitten off more than we can chew? She looks at Rin, who seems to be oddly subdued despite all this. I hope it will be worth it, Discord kid. She holds out her hand as if to
criticize Rin's art all they want, but they can't ever say it lacked a soul.
She moves out her hand as if to shake Rin's, but realizes the impossibility and quickly moves to pat her on the shoulder. Good save, good save. Rin looks back at her silently, her eyes serious and impenetrable like the dark of the night. Do 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 do. Rin applies for, and thanks to Nomiya pressuring the principal, I'm sure, is granted leave for the rest of the term for exceptional extracurricular activities. She has to make up for it during summer vacation, but it seems she doesn't mind. Rin will still be able to eat and sleep at school, of course. She just doesn't have to go to classes. I'm not entirely sure if I envy her or not. It all makes me feel anxious, somehow. It's the last day of school for Rin. I feel like I should send her off with a word of encouragement, or at least say something. It was sort of due to my influence that she decided to dive headfirst into this, after all. My class ends a good 20 minutes early, so I walk down to the lobby and buy a can of juice, then sit down on a bench and wait for Rin. I pull out a novel from my bag and search for the place where I was. Time stretches comfortably over the warm afternoon while I idly sip my orange juice and read a few chapters of the book. The plot doesn't seem to advance at all, but it's all the same for me. The bell rings to end the school day and students shuffle to club meetings or outside. Nobody notices me, sitting on the bench with my nose in the novel. I keep watch for Rin, but I don't see her familiar face or red-tinted hair passing by. I check my watch 20 minutes past the end of class, when the lobby has all but emptied of people again. Even Rin should have already managed to get out of class, but either I missed her walking by or she never came downstairs. Perhaps she went to the art club room for some last-minute things instead, or got held back by her strict homeroom teacher. I haven't really waited that long, but having grown tired of it already, I decided to go find her myself. I stuff my book back in the bag and throw the now empty juice can into a trash bin, then climb upstairs. The hallway is eerily quiet, as there are no club rooms apart from the art room nearby. I check there first, but not even the teacher is in. Coming back towards the stairwell, I quietly knock on the door of 3-4 and push the door open to peek in. Yellow sunbeams cross the classroom, falling across the floor. The dust and chalk floating slowly in the air make the light almost palpable. The entire room bathes in the gentle light shining through the windows, washing the shadows away. Only one person is inside the classroom. She fell asleep. Rin sits in what I assume is her seat next to the window in the third row. Her head rests against the desk. I wonder if she slept through it all. Apparently not even Emmy had the heart, or maybe the capability, to wake her up. I close the door quietly, walking past the neat, even rows of desks. I go over to where she sits. Rin? My mouth is suddenly so dry that the word comes out as a tiny whisper. She doesn't answer, so I set my bag down on the floor next to hers and lean over her to look at her face. Rin's eyes are peacefully closed, the long eyelashes projecting thin shadows onto her cheeks. Her mouth is slightly open, letting me hear the quiet sound of her breathing. Her usually messy hair is even more so today, lying in complete disarray over half of her face and forehead.
Rin and Ring are one letter different.
That's right, dude. What do you even do in that case? You get her a toe ring? No. Actually, I think I've heard of... I want to say I've heard someone...
Ao Hisao is giving her lips a good look over.
You're right. I don't remember if I heard it from someone... I think it was a long time ago, but I mentioned the story about how I met somebody who was born with no arms. And I'm pretty sure she's married, and what they did instead is they just got her a ankle bracelet. She just wears an ankle bracelet instead of a wedding ring. Engagement ring, armband. Now! Yeah, anyway. Her bag is lying at her feet like a forgotten rag doll. A few books and pens have fallen out of it near her seat. The scene makes me smile a little. I touch Rin's head lightly, sweeping a few stray hairs off her ear. Her hair feels warm against my palm. Rin stirs and I retract my hand on reflex, feeling embarrassed for touching her so casually. She looks so vulnerable. Don't say that. Like any sleeping person. It's impossible not to feel fondness towards her. I sit on the desktop of whoever is in front of Rin, then draw the window slightly open to get some fresh air in. Hopefully it will wake her up and I won't need to resort to cruder methods. Draw on her face. It's animated! It's animated! What? She doesn't wake up, but I didn't really expect her to. We got 2 frames! Looking at her makes me feel tired as well. To be honest, I wouldn't mind a quick nap either, but I content myself with leaning against the large window. What are you gonna do if she wakes up, dude? Hello there. The glass is warm against my ear and cheek, as these windows face west toward the setting afternoon sun. That afternoon light is slowly melting into Rin's auburn hair, softening her outline so that she seems to be fading into her surroundings. The minute twitches... the minute twitches of her muscles, her hair swaying in the air current, the even rhythm of her breathing. It all gives a strong impression of a dreaming girl. Like all sleeping people, Rin looks like she is away from this world, in some distant dream country. With her, it doesn't feel so obvious that she would ever come back. She seems so detached from her surroundings even when she's awake. In fact, she has this same kind of air around her when... The realization hits my consciousness without warning. Rin sometimes looks like that when she's painting. Her focused expression gives the same feeling of being on the other side of some imaginary gap as looking at her sleeping face does. I feel a pain in my chest. Are you gonna die from looking at a woman? There's no way that I can close that gap to be on the same level with her. It hurts, even though I know that it's impossible for any 2 people to truly understand each other. But Rin? She's almost literally in another world when she's talking about art, thinking about art, or making art. It's a world that I, or anyone else really, can't share with her. Just like the world of dreams. Rin still doesn't show any sign of waking up, so I'm faced with a decision to either rouse her myself, or wait for her to awaken on her own. I choose the latter. I thought the game was gonna make me choose here, and I was gonna be like, don't you make me do that. Do not force this upon me. Waiting is something I am good at. I found that out during my hospitalization, but even the hospital ward was more lively than the school after classes are over. The only sounds in this place are the loud ticking of the clock above the door and the distant voices of students down on the grounds. A genuine summer breeze blows inside from the window I cracked open, full of warmth and carrying the scent of light. I look outside to see where it came from, but I'm dazzled almost instantly. The window glass seems to trap all the sunlight within, making it painful to look that way. All I can glimpse through the window are the dark silhouettes of the trees and the wall around the campus against the setting sun's radiance. As I turn back to watch Rin, she stirs again. A single tear worms down from the corner of her eye, slowly making its way across her face before it falls onto the desk. It's tiny, barely a droplet, but it captivates me. Another tear follows the first, and then a third. A feeling of anxiety overcomes me, petrifying me on the spot. It's so strange, seeing Rin's face peaceful as she sleeps, at the same time as tears stream down her cheeks, wetting the wooden desktop she rests her head on. I don't know what to do, so I do nothing, and just watch.
Kissa has spent a long time staring at Rin.
He sure has. He sure has. I don't know what to do, so I do nothing and just watch the tears roll by one down her face. I wonder what she's dreaming about. Rin wakes up after one final flinch, or perhaps because of the tears. She sits upright and yawns so excessively it looks like her jaw might dislocate. Have you ever done that? Have you ever like dislocated your jaw with a big yawn? I don't think I've ever fully dislocated it, but I have had moments where like it feels like it's about to dislocate, and then I just kind of have to like jostle it back in place. It's like, oh, I hate it. Oh. Just thinking about it hurts, you know? Tears of joy? Well, we'll see. What was that? What was that for? What's the warning bell for? I guess I said dislocate my jaw. What do you mean? Can't believe you. Unfortunately, yes. No, it's not like. You know. I knew a girl once upon a time who could dislocate her jaw like on command. Yeah, she cheated on her fiance, but that's another story for another time. She notices my presence, but her reaction is more like the lack of any reacting at all. It's just an acknowledgement, no startled gasp or anything. Hello. Good morning. She's so groggy she can't even return my smile that I somehow can't stretch to be entirely honest. She also dislocated her fiance too. No, they still ended up getting married. Awkward. Rin notices her wet cheeks and quickly wipes them on the shoulders of her shirt. It seems like she isn't surprised or flustered by them. How easy is that to...
My stream
I can't
was
even
30
do it.
seconds behind. I may have accidentally made things look weird lol.
That's funny. That's funny. That explains it. How dare you be 30 seconds behind? I didn't even notice, to be honest. You cried in your sleep. Bad dream? No. It's nothing like that. It's something I've learned to do from other people. What? What does that mean? It's a funny story. I'll tell you later. On second thought, not really that funny at all. I guess I won't tell you. Did you want something, or did you just come to watch me sleep? I wanted to see you after classes. Oh, well, it's after classes now, and I'm seeing you right here. Yeah, I just wanted to say good luck, or something. I figure the upcoming week's gonna be a lot of work for you. Thanks. Rin yawns again and blinks a few times. I feel weird. I didn't really sleep much last night at all. You're anxious, kiddo. Butterflies in your stomach? What? No, I mean, yes, I know what that means. Butterflies. Don't really feel so good now. It'll be fine. You're so confident. Someday it will bite you in the ear. I'll look forward to it. I think I have to go. I promised Miss Sayonji that I'd go there straight after school, and now it's after school. Is it okay if I come by sometime? I'm guessing you're planning to work long hours, so if you'd prefer to avoid distractions... It's okay. It's not a distraction. Not like Emmy. Don't bring her with you, though. I wouldn't like that this time. I told her to stay away. I see. Alright then. It bit him in the heart, actually. That would kill him. He had a random phone call that was likely spam. Yeah, it was probably definitely spam. I'd be willing to bet that at least half of phone calls nowadays are all spam. Just the sheer volume that spam calls can be sent out at just has to be more than what even people... And people just also don't even call as much anymore, so... There's gotta be like... Somebody's gotta be able to, do the math and figure out how many calls are placed on average that are just spam. Rin stands up and silently walks to the door with me following behind. The school's empty hallways, devoid of the usual crowd of students, feel very lonely. It's only a few hours since school ended, but the building seems to be all but deserted. Our footsteps are all that intrudes upon the stillness of the hallways. The change is sudden, but it shows how the building is just an empty shell, dead without its students and teachers to liven it up. It's like the school has become a private world for just the two of us, a desolate place filled with silence and chalk dust. They're gonna fuck up the school. I'm gonna go change. Oh. She says this out of the blue while we walk down the stairs from the 3rd floor, and it makes me wonder how she views this challenge that lies ahead of her. That's what people must do sometimes. That's the last thing we say to each other that day, even though there's so much more that we could talk about. And even those words drown in the all-encompassing silence, disappearing into the stagnant air as if they were never said. Do-do-do. Confidence will bite Emmy in the foot. Oh. The next Monday is marked by a strange emptiness that grips me, caused by the knowledge that I won't be able to sin? He won't be able to sin ever again? Holy moly, his sound became Jesus. Anyway, the next Monday is marked by a strange emptiness that grips me, caused by the knowledge that I won't be able to see Rin whenever I want to anymore. This hollow feeling's a little bit disconcerting, but I make it to the afternoon all the same. My last class is, in a word, terrible. It's not that the lesson is that bad. It is, however, boring. And it's so hot in the classroom that I feel like I'm melting. No sinning means no routes end. True, because several of the routes end with premarital sex, which is a sin. The air conditioning is either broken or turned off, so the windows are open. It makes no difference since the air outside is completely still. Only the chirping of cicadas carries inside. The sweltering heat permeates the room. Students and teachers alike are in an almost delirious state. I just want to stand up and walk out of here without caring what the teacher or anyone else says. I can see I'm not the only one with these thoughts too. Next to me, Misha is shamelessly holding her skirt up a bit and fanning air in with her notebook. You go, girl. Only Shizune seems to be as cool as always, sitting with her back perfectly straight, arms folded on her chest, her eyes fixed on the equation scrawled on the blackboard. I keep shooting yearning glances at my watch, but it doesn't help the time go by any faster. It's funny. I remember how badly I wanted to get out of the hospital and go to school. Now all I can think of is the upcoming summer vacation and freedom from classes and homework. Perhaps it's human nature to think only of the situation at hand. Finally, the bell rings. Relieved, my classmates and I burst into the hallway already crowded by students from our neighboring classes. I spot Emmy's diminutive figure nearby and walk up to her. Hey there! She smiles sweetly, clearly happy to see me. So, what's up? Is your classroom super hot too? Super hot. Yeah, it is. I thought I was gonna melt in there. Nothing else is really happening, though. Feeling a bit weird now that Rin's on her great adventure, whatever you want to call it. Sao can't ever stop calling Emmy short. She is short! But we like her the way she is. Emmy's face cracks in a wider smile and she jumps up and down enthusiastically. Isn't it great? I'm so happy for her. I bet everyone will like her paintings and she'll sell a lot of them and make piles of money. Yeah, I'm sure it'll work out great. This isn't gonna end well. I'm totally sulking at her though. She huffs angrily and places her hands firmly on her hips, even letting a little anger seep into her voice. It doesn't quite have the impact she's probably hoping for, but I say nothing. Why is that? She said that she doesn't want me to go see her. Oh yeah, she mentioned that. I guess she prefers not to be distracted. I can understand that. I don't think I'm that much of a distraction. Besides, I'm sure she'll forget about sleeping and eating properly if someone's not there telling her to do it. You're not wrong. Sometimes she's like that. Gets completely fixated on whatever and drops everything else. It really makes me worried, you know. Is she gonna be alright? Such friendship. I wonder if she thinks I'm annoying. I'm pretty sure that's not the case at all. Emmy shakes her head, looking amused. I'm not sure if she's joking or not. She has these weird ideas about a lot of stuff. Things just make sense to her in a totally different way than they do to me. I can't even remember all the weird stuff she's talked about over all this time. I don't think Rin does either, really. She's the type who would forget her own head if it wasn't attached to her shoulders. That's why I just can't leave her alone. Is that weird? She leans up against the wall, managing to look distraught, yet still cheerful as always. I get a strange feeling about it, as though I were talking to two people at the same time. How would I know? Everyone's weird in some way, but if that's yours, it's a very nice way. At least I can understand what you're talking about, unlike Rin. Most of the time, I have no idea what's going on inside her head either. Emmy giggles, nodding in agreement. I think it's okay, even if you don't understand her. That's how she usually is. Emmy stands up straighter, brushing the hem of her skirt and straightening the waistline. She laughs awkwardly. Wow, we ended up talking pretty seriously. What's up with you, Hisao? Why'd you bring this up? Oh, sorry, I didn't really mean to get into this sort of discussion either. I don't know. I've had this weird feeling lately about Rin. Come on, Emmy, press him about it. Make him admit to liking Rin. I don't know why. I feel a bit guilty bringing up something like this for no reason except my own anxiety. It'll be fine, don't worry about it. Suddenly, Emmy clutches my wrist and twists it so she can see what time it is from my watch. Oh damn, it's late already. I really should go. There's a meeting with the rest of the track team at the field. It's not gonna be fun in this heat. We're gonna sweat like pigs, but I promised I'd be there. Bye-bye. Bye, Emmy! She skips downstairs, leaving me wondering if what I said, or what Rin said rather, hurts her or not. Maybe what Emmy herself said hurt her the most. Come to that. So in the end, even the person closest to Rin is just as far apart from her as everyone else. I wonder if Rin herself ever feels that distance. I felt like I was drifting away from the world too during my hospitalization. I felt anxious and depressed, and even now I sometimes still do. But I fight against it with all I've got. If Rin has been on that side of the divide for her whole life, I can't imagine how she could not be lonely. But perhaps she's truly different. I refuse to belong to that other place, but maybe she's found comfort there. As I walk through the hall that afternoon, I glance at my watch. It's almost 4:30. I would normally have a club meeting to attend, but I don't feel like going to the art club at all, so I start heading the opposite way. It feels like a poorly chosen decision. I just know that if I skip club once, I'm going to skip it again and again. This is probably it for me in the art club. It's been bubbling beneath the surface for a while now, though. I guess I'll formally quit later. I keep watching the bland linoleum floor while I walk without a direction. This leads me, perhaps unconsciously, to the school library. It's almost empty and completely quiet. A few studious first years are sitting at the tables, joining efforts to get homework done before dinner time. Yuko is hard at work today, too. She's methodically going through a towering stack of books sitting on her desk, checking them one by one and then placing them onto a cart beside her. I greet her as I stop by. Good afternoon. I haven't seen you here for a while. Did you read all the books already? She seems to be in a good mood. I don't think so. I joined the art club, so I've been passing the time there instead of working my way through your collection. I think I'm gonna quit, though. So I guess you'll be seeing more of me again from now on. You didn't like the club? Honestly, I don't know. I don't have much of a talent for art, but I don't hate doing it either. I guess it just feels a bit pointless. I can't really see any purpose in going. The art teacher scares me a little. Me too, buddy. Really? He seems like a really nice guy. Maybe a bit over the top sometimes. Yuko makes a face I can't read, but doesn't say anything further. I don't like the sound of that, to be honest. How are you doing? Something good happened to me today. I didn't flunk my university course. Woo! Let's go! Let's go, Yuko! Well, that's great, isn't it? Yes, without the credit I might have been kicked out and then I'd have a lot of explaining to do to my family. I'm really lucky. I think I'm gonna go buy pudding today to celebrate. Being a university student sounds hard. I'm surprised you're working 2 jobs while still attending. I know, right? That's an insane workload. My part-time work makes it really hard to keep up with my studies, and I get yelled at by my student counselor. And then if I stay up late studying, I get sleepy at work and my boss yells at me. Oh my god, Yuko. But if I quit my jobs, I'll starve. It's like I just can't win. I wonder why it's like that. Oh, poor Yuko. You poor woman. I don't really know what to say. Yuko isn't really complaining to get empathy out of a guy a lot younger than her. She's basically just talking about the facts of her everyday life. Makes me feel even more pity for her, somehow. Wow. That must be hard for you. I don't know. It's been like this for so long that I've forgotten what it's like to have a normal life. Or maybe this already is a normal life for my age. No, it's definitely not. Is this normal? Is it? It is, right? It must be. Why is being normal so depressing? Alright, you got me there. I couldn't say. Not like being abnormal is much different, though. Oh, I didn't mean it like that. Sorry. I just got carried away. Ah, it's fine. It was a joke. Sort of. Anyway, you seem to be doing just fine now. Yes, when I feel really down, I take a step back and make a cup of tea. And when I've drunk the tea, I give my mood a kick in the butt, like wham! And then I tell myself, now you're gonna do this thing, Yuko. And then I go and get it done. That's why I'm working so hard now. She clenches her fist dramatically at the high point of her spirited explanation. It's a bit unclear what she actually means, but it's nice that she's so motivated. That's the spirit, that's right. Leaving Yuko alone with her work, I head to the back of the library where the novels are. I briefly consider reading something non-fiction for a change, maybe a biography perhaps, but in the end, I decide against it. My fingers trace the spines along the rows upon rows of novels. They occasionally pull out the random book so I can read the back, and maybe sample the first 2 or 3 pages. Nothing really catches my interest, so I end up picking a book I'd already read back in March or so at the hospital. I recall liking it. I sit down on one of the beanbag chairs and quickly get sucked into the book, turning pages at a rapid pace. I'm probably not the fastest reader around, but pretty fast all the same. Reading quickly makes me feel oddly satisfied. Focusing on reading is something I'm pretty good at, too. I can cram study pretty efficiently as well, as long as I stay motivated. It's the secret of my good grades, though I'm pretty diligent in class, too. His Sal likes the books with lots of footnotes. God damn it. That's what Rin and I have in common. She can really focus on painting if she wants to. I wonder what she's doing now. Probably hard at work, painting. This distance that suddenly grew between us irritates me. I thought that we were getting closer, but now that feeling's been lost. I'm a bit worried about her, too. I can't make sense of my own thoughts. Alrighty then. Alrighty then, chat room. I can't leave her alone either. I want to be with her more. These are real. This is a good one. This is a good one. Because these are like very different ways to say the exact same thing. And it's a very important distinction all the same. Can't leave her alone. I want to be with her more. The top one, I can't leave her alone either, has more of a I don't want to kind of want to say a sense of duty, you know? Like he feels like he needs to make sure she's not alone. And then the bottom one is more of a yearning kind of thing. I want to be with her more. I'm leaning towards the top one. Yeah. I think I'm going with the top one. Although, I want to take a step back and reread some of this. The first one sounds more fulfilling. That's what I'm thinking. Focusing on Rainy is something I'm pretty good at. Yeah, I get to study. She can really focus on painting if she wants to. No, the distance that suddenly grew between us irritates me. You're getting closer, but now that feeling's being lost. A bit worried. I can't make sense of my own thoughts. Never alone versus less alone. Yeah. I'm gonna go with my gut. I share Emmy's sentiment of being worried about Rin. She's the type who might get so caught up in her own strange world and get lost in there before she knows it. It's not that I feel like being some kind of white knight. White knight who could save Rin from herself. She doesn't need saving, but I just can't leave her alone either. If I want to keep what I have with Rin going, I have to get involved with making this exhibition happen, right at her side. I realize I've been sitting on the same page for a while now. I turn my gaze back to the book I'm reading. The jungle of glyphs has somehow turned into a near incomprehensible cipher. I stare hard at it, expecting the text to start making sense to me. Emmy is screaming at that white knight thought. She sure is. No pattern emerges, nothing that could take me any further than I am. Dazed, I close the book, put it back on the shelf, then sit back down, and think honestly and hard about what I really want.
Where is our favorite hot girl?
Which girl is your favorite hot girl? Trick question, it's me. I'm your favorite hot girl. The next day, I take the bus into the city. It goes twice an hour, starting in the morning, passing by the front gate of Yamaku at 20 minutes past and 10 to the hour. The ride takes considerably longer than the one Nomiya gave us in his car. I slowly read a book as the bus makes its rounds through the suburbs, pausing at almost every stop to pick someone up or let them out. Or you're out when. What's my disability? That I have no body? I'm just a hat? Eventually we make it to the last stop at the city center. The city is fair sized, but not too large and seems too quiet. Nevertheless, I enjoy the atmosphere. Despite being slightly directionally challenged, I find my way to the bus stop, from the bus station to the gallery without too much effort. And soon I find myself staring at the big letters saying 22nd corner. But you have no brain. Oh, that's mean. Inside, the gallery owner is intently studying a large painting hanging on the wall. A portrait of an old man. Good afternoon. She turns around to look at me, and a smile of recognition spreads on her lips. Oh, aren't you the young man from the other day? Shinichi's student. Sao, was it? I think I gave her, like, one of my older men voices. What the hell was that? That's right. Good afternoon, Miss Saionji. Please, just sigh. I don't want to feel any older than I am. You know, I'm so glad that even young people show interest in art nowadays.
It's so refreshing. What brings you here? Surely you aren't just on a courtesy visit, all the way from your school. Actually, I came for Rin. I was hoping to see how she's doing. Oh, is that right? Well then, you need to step back outside. You see, the atelier is actually at the next door on the right down the street, and up the stairwell. Just climb the stairs to the top floor. There's only one door there, you can't miss it. I give Saya my thanks, exit the gallery, and locate the door she was talking about. This is, I am like 90% certain this is the exact same staircase image from the school, just flipped and with the brightness turned down. And the color saturation changed a little bit. I'm pretty sure it's the exact same image. Can't blame him. I'd do the exact same. It leads to a dark stairwell, which reminds me of the stairs leading to the roof of the school building. Okay, no, never mind. It is definitely the same. The stairs are steep, and even though it's only 5 floors, my breathing gets heavy before I reach the top.
Reusing assists. Here'sy.
Reusing assists. Here'sy. I don't know why, but that's really funny to me. An unassuming wooden door waits for me there. It's unlocked, so I knock and enter. The atelier is really just one big room, with the ceiling lower at one end than the other because the roof of the building is gabled. There is a huge skylight in the ceiling that acts as the main source of light for the room, bringing in sunlight that reflects off the white painted walls. I suppose it's good to use natural light for art. There isn't much in the way of interior decoration, no surprise, since the room seems to have been used as storage for a while. All kinds of boxes and office furniture are scattered around the place. The room is dusty since it's not been in use for a while. I can see that someone has made some effort to clean up a little, but it's far from immaculate. I don't know why, but something about it just standing there is cracking me up. Rin stands in the middle of the room with her back to me, staring at a half-painted canvas placed on an easel. Not working on it, just staring, unmoving. She wears what must be second or third-hand denim overalls over the standard school uniform shirt, much like the one I'm wearing. They look pretty worn and are covered in paint splatters. From the way they seem to be loose or tight in places, I'm guessing that they weren't originally Rin's. Hi! Hello. Rin doesn't judge my showing up as worthy of turning around, saying maybe something more than just a mechanical reply to my greeting, smiling, anything. She keeps on doing whatever it is she's doing. Probably some weird creative thing inside her head. Perhaps I should have expected as much. Still, I make another attempt at conversation. This is a pretty cool place. Big, too. It is. Sai said I can use this as much as I like. I even have my own key. So, how's the work going? She doesn't answer for a while. I begin to wonder if she's already forgotten the question. As a cloud drifts over the building, shadowing the light pouring in from the skylight, the change in Rin's surroundings seems to wake her up. I don't know. It's like a huge ball. I don't really know which side is the right one. It's really huge. It's the hugest thing ever. Like a mountain growing inside of me. Like I swallowed a mountain whole. It's gonna be hard, I think. Really very hard. I try to listen for undercurrents of stress or uncertainty in her voice, but I don't pick up on anything like that. I don't pick up anything like that. Why are you here? Her tone is not as unkind as the directness of the question would make it seem. Well, you said that it'd be fine if I came to visit, so here I am. I guess it's not for any real reason, but I thought you might like some company, or assistance, or maybe some... Hisao? Can you be quiet for about 15 minutes? Maybe 10 is enough. 5 definitely is not. You can talk afterwards. Her tone is sharp. Nothing like I've ever heard from her before. There is no command, no annoyance, no anger, but her voice pierces me all the same. All right. With the silence that falls, anxiety creeps back into my heart. I wonder if it was a mistake to come here. Murmurs of traffic filter in from outside, and I start to feel more and more uncomfortable. All my thoughts keep finding themselves returning to certain things that have been swirling relentlessly in the back of my mind for some time now. I feel like those thoughts will surface out of the tempestuous sea. Let's try that again. I feel like those thoughts will surface out from the tempestuous sea of my mind, whether I want it or not. Desperate to divert my focus, I fixate on Rin's back as my mind races. I don't think I've ever studied anyone's back so intently before. Her neck, hidden by copper-colored hair, which is, again, in complete disarray. He's looking at her neck. That relaxed yet rigid posture, reminding me that Rin's physical appearance often tends to be as awkward as her various trains of thought. Those gaunt, delicate shoulder blades visible through the thin white fabric of her shirt. The contours of her hips curving down to her thin thighs. It pisses me up. What? Rarely does she ever seem to be looking at me, whether literally or figuratively. I, on the other hand, am always watching her back, both literally and figuratively. Whenever she is painting, whenever something catches her fluttery attention, whenever I don't forcefully make her listen to me, I can't reach through to her. Rin's heart is uncharted territory, dangerous waters, the blank areas on a map. The edge of the world? If I went too close, I wonder if I would fall off. What do I think of her? Sometimes she's aloof and distant, and it annoys me. At other times, her passion for the things she thinks worthwhile shines through, and it inspires me. I can't understand her. Still, I like her and consider her my friend. I suppose part of friendship is putting up with the oddities of the people you call friends. I have to admit, there is a lot of putting up with Rin. What does she think of me? I have no idea. Last week, I thought she might have liked me romantically, what with the kiss and all. It forced me to ponder my own feelings too. This week, I'm utterly confused. What would she do if I told her I liked her that way? I wonder if I really do. Damn, I can't make sense of even my own thoughts anymore. It must be contagious. Even if I said a thing like that, would it matter? Nothing affects Rin. Nothing. I'm done. I find her turned around, now staring straight at me. It unnerves me. I try to remember what I, were talking about before she requested a timeout. Oh right, I just came to... I don't know. You still can't finish your sentences? It's not that. Fine. She retreats from the conversation, slipping away from me once again. She doesn't return to painting, but instead keeps looking at me with that empty poker face of hers. I wanted to talk about some stuff. I've thought a lot about things. What things? Like what happened last week, and so on. What happened? I get the feeling she's playing with me. Why? I have no clue. There's not a game she's playing with my head. I'm pretty sure she doesn't deliberately try to screw with people. Maybe it's just my own mind playing tricks on itself. Still, Rin feels like a puzzle in the form of a girl. I feel attracted to it, compelled to solve it. The overly rational part of my brain refusing to let me give up. I can't leave her alone. I never would have believed I could be this obsessive about something. Why do I hesitate so much and keep running in circles around her? I don't have to do that. I already decided what I want to say. Rin? Saying her name with an intention like this makes my mouth dry, as if my subconscious is fighting against what I'm going to say next. I feel like I'm going to lock up any moment now. Rin looks up from her paint-covered toes and stops wriggling them, as there isn't anyone to observe them curiously now. The hard stare of her dark green eyes seems like a portent. I like you. The lack of any reaction is a slap to the face. So, I mean, I'd like to like you as more than a friend. What is more? The slow, hesitant words coming from between her strawberry-colored lips are not the ones I was waiting for. Neither of the two possible answers that I'd been expecting, actually. I feel myself blushing heavily, as is par for the course in this kind of situation. My heartbeat sounds like a percussion orchestra on drugs. Rin's faux innocent inquiry feels like I'm being grilled over hot coals. You know, like romantically and... No. Oh. Oh, shit. No! Hisao, my boy! No! It's gonna be okay, Hisao, my boy. You can recover from this. Rin turns around, giving me the cold shoulder as she returns to looking at her painting. She makes a move to pick up her brush, which lies forgotten on the floor, but decides against it at the last moment. I can't talk about that kind of thing now. So, don't talk about that kind of thing, please. We are friends, right? So you can do that. The silence those words leave behind is deafening. I want to say something, but my mouth refuses to move. There's no way I can retain my dignity. Rin finally picks up the brush without giving any explanation for her behavior. Maybe there was something in her voice that gave away some emotion, but I couldn't say what. Her shoulders slump melancholically as her foot works the canvas in front of her. She won't let me see her face, and I know it. Feeling the weight of my heart grow heavier, I stand up to leave, for I can't stay here any longer today. It's like I've opened Pandora's box by stepping over some line that Rin didn't want me to cross, and she had to turn me down. I walk across the squeaky floor to the door leading to the stairwell. Rin's quiet voice stops me in my tracks as I'm about to open the door. Hisao? My hand, still on the brass doorknob, is waiting for me to turn it, or to withdraw. Yeah? Will you come tomorrow? Yeah. Whoa!
Hope still appeared out of Pandora's box.
She's not, I don't think she's quite as aloof as she lets on. She's just, right now especially, she's just really focused. She really wants to get her art done, and she doesn't, I think she likes us out, but she doesn't want to let that get in the way of her art, and that's fine. But boy, is that gonna hurt us out till she's done. Okay, I'm liking this, I'm liking this. After a night of bad sleep, I go through the day mostly on automatic. She's also hiding something real personal. That too, probably. I put on my uniform mechanically, do my schoolwork mechanically, eat my lunch mechanically, reply to teachers mechanically, and thus, when the final bell rings, I still feel as if I had just woken up. My mind feels blank and overcrowded at the same time, and I can't even begin to unravel the tangle of feelings I've gotten myself into. I spend the bus trip downtown staring out of the window, thinking about these things. As a result, by the time I climb the stairs to the atelier room, the atelier 4 floors above Sai's gallery, I'm feeling completely exhausted. Expecting awkwardness, I quietly knock on the door before entering. I spot Rin at the center of the small area in the room working on a painting. She doesn't acknowledge my arrival in any way. Hi, I came. As promised. Rin snaps her head to my direction immediately. Was she waiting for me to say something? And locks that cold green gaze of hers on me. Although I'm sure my own face can't hide my feelings, Rin's expression is as expectant and neutral as always. The clouded, slightly absent-minded darkness in her eyes is like a wall standing between me and her. It is the first awkward silence between us that is truly awkward. Yesterday, both of us said something we couldn't take back, and there's no way it can be undone. I want to say something, but Rin forbade me from doing so. I can't even begin to guess what she's thinking, but I'm feeling the pressure of her lightless eyes on me, compelling me to break the silence without saying the thing I most want to say. To my horror, I find that I can't find any way to start a conversation. It's as if I've completely lost the ability to speak with her. Just keep working if you're in the middle of something. I'll just sit down here. Rin nods wordlessly at me and picks up the brush from the floor with the toes of her right foot. I sink into a worn-out sofa, picking up a book from my bag and opening it to where I stopped last night. Can't really concentrate on it, but it's better than doing nothing.
INB for dead father, just going on by the current record.
No, I don't think it has anything to do with her parents' living status. Because Nomiya did say Rin's parents, plural. Well, I mean, I guess that could mean that, like, she could have a stepfather. Like her actual dad could have died or something. But that's besides the point. I don't think any of her parents are dead. I think it's probably something else. But we have literally no indication of what it could be. There's like hasn't been a hint of whatever her major malfunction is, so we're just gonna play by ear. Yeah, now? The two of us are so close to each other, together, in the same room even. And yet we're both off doing our own thing as if we were miles apart. I can't help but wonder about this unnatural situation. Dude, that sounds awesome. I don't know what you're complaining about. Why did I come here? Because she asked me to do so yesterday, of course. However, it looks like there's absolutely no need for me to actually be here. She likes you, bro. She wants you to be there. Makes me feel awkward at first, but as I recall the previous silences I've quietly passed with Rin, I settle down and try to tune into that same comfortable mood I was in back then.
It's obvious that she needs a hand or two with her work.
Time stretches, then slows down. The pages of my book rustle each time I turn them. After maybe half an hour, 1 hour at most, Rin breaks the silence to my complete surprise. Isao? Yeah? Are you my friend? It's an echo of yesterday, I know it. So, even Rin couldn't just push it aside from her mind. Caught off guard, I answer honestly. Yeah, of course I am. Don't worry about stuff like that, come on. Okay. She doesn't say anything further. I feel happy, somehow. Several chapters later, I mark my spot, close the book, and put it away in my bag. Getting up from the sofa, I see that Rin's made considerable progress on her painting. I take a look at it for a bit. It's still not quite finished, I suppose. I suppose. It looks great. It's bad luck to comment on unfinished paintings. After that, I quietly leave the studio and catch the bus, taking me back to school. Do. I can predict when those are gonna happen now. I've played this long enough. I know. Life settles into some sort of vague, undefined norm. I visit Rin whenever I can, but each time is as strange as the first. They consist mainly of me watching Rin at work, or just reading a book on the couch while she works. We barely talk at all. Long, quiet evenings stretch over the last week of June. I sit on the couch in the atelier listening to the quiet rustle of Rin's brush and my own heartbeat, trying to make sense of the former and forget about the latter. I am a silent visitor in this place, a ghost. At some point, I start thinking that my presence is meaningful to Rin somehow, yep, but never end up asking her about it. I don't bring up the forbidden topic anymore either, and try to stop thinking about it altogether. It's hard to do so, and doesn't get any easier with the passage of time. My heart aches every time I look at the awkward figure of the girl I decided I liked, yet who refuses to acknowledge it. I still can't seem to find the right words to talk to her about anything at all, but I find quiet solace in observing her from nearby. The distance between us doesn't feel that huge when I can be close to her, even if it's like this. Rin works like a demon.
So Hisao is a phasmophobia intentee.
Yes, he is. Rin works like a demon. There is barely a moment when she's without a brush between her toes, or not walking in circles around her current work in progress, estimating it from every angle and distance. She seems to be completely taken over by her will to work. To change herself into the sort of artist she believes would be worthy of the trust Nomiya and Saya have placed in her. Piles of sketches, works in progress, tubes of oil paint, and brushes slowly begin to crowd the small atelier, making it even messier than it was before Rin acquired the right to use it. I offer to help her clean up every now and then, but each time she refuses. It dawns on me that in her mind, the room is not in utter chaos. Rather, her system of keeping track of everything is so elaborate, only Rin herself can make sense of it. She knows exactly where everything is, from the tiniest brush to that half-empty tube of crimson that's the perfect shade of the picture in progress. Rin walks from one painting to another, looking at them as if not remembering that she made them. She talks to herself, or to the paintings, even when I'm present, always just quietly enough that I can't make out the words. Every day, Rin pours herself onto the canvas for hours on end, squeezing every bit of her ability and even her soul to make good on that promise she made to me, or herself. Black marks appear beneath her eyes, a sure sign that she's been skipping. Black marks appear beneath her eyes, a sure sign that she's skipping sleep in favor of painting. I'm somewhat surprised to see her at school a few times. I never go and say hello though, as I somehow feel it would break the silent magic of the evenings we share at the atelier. Oh my god, I need a water break. Sometimes Sai comes by when I'm there. She gives me a certain kind of look when she shows up. I think she doesn't like that I'm always hanging out with Rin up to here, but she never says a word about it. She isn't quite as full of praise for Rin's work as Nomiya, but is visibly impressed nevertheless. However, when she turns her eyes from the wonderful works of art to look upon the little red-headed girl that made them, a sudden, deep sadness floats onto the surface of her expression. I can't explain it. She never talks about it. What does she know? What does she know? She knows something. Sai obviously knows something. There's something about Nomiya, I think. Sai doesn't like it. I'm gonna keep my thoughts to myself on the topic for now, but we'll get to it eventually. June turns into July almost without warning. End-of-term exams loom dangerously close, but all I can think of is Rin. I feel like a sleepwalker at school, looking forward only to the next time I get to visit that silent place above Sai's gallery. After Rin refuses my attempts at directly helping with her, I try to figure out other ways to help her. It finally dawns on me that she isn't eating properly. Just feed her. Just get her some pudding and just put spoonfuls of it in her mouth while she's painting. My course of action decided, I stop at the convenience store before going to catch the bus downtown on my next visit to the studio. I feel very energetic as I open the door to the atelier and greet Rin. I brought you some fruit. You need vitamins and actual food after all. Do you even eat up here? I do eat. If I didn't eat, I couldn't paint. Then why don't you eat a couple of these? I shake the bag full of ripe oranges in my hand in a ploy to tempt Rin into taking a break. To my surprise, she actually lays her brush down and walks over to me to see what I'd brought. Her expression doesn't change at all when she looks into the bag. I can't eat oranges, Sisao. It does not work very well with my feet. Oh god, they're eating orange! No! No, they're eating me! No! No, you can't do this! Ah! That's alright, I'll do it. Of course I knew that. She told me herself, after all. I extract the tiny fruit knife I had with me and select one of the round fruits. After making the initial cut, I begin to peel it with my fingers. The strong scent of cut orange rind immediately fills the air as thousands of tiny droplets of oil burst from the skin. I remove the first section of the hard peel and shoot it.
Eat orange with her feet?
No, 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 not with her feet! No, don't eat me! I remove the first section of the hard peel and shoot a glance at Rin. So, how's the work going? I don't know. It's like I'm in the center of some huge mountain of jelly and have to dig my way out. Must be stressful. I think it might be. Even though it's just painting. All this, everything feels really strange. I wonder if Rin is the kind of person who likes to carefully remove all the white fibrous stuff from oranges before eating them. Or the more careless type who just eats them as they come. Maybe neither. Hold on, give her a chance. Hold up, let her cook. I'm the former type, so I meticulously clean the orange slices one by one while Rin watches the process with mild curiosity. I realize that I don't have the faintest idea about her likes or dislikes, or any of the other little
Orange
details.
is being tortured.
No, please! Don't cut up the white bits!
Or any of the other little details that make up the concept of a person for those around them. It's like in all this time, I haven't learned much about her at all. Once I finish lamenting that fact, I realize I've cleaned the entire orange and neatly split it into slices. I hold a slice up, bringing it closer to Rin so she can pick it up. Here. She takes it directly between her lips and then into her mouth. Oh. Her lower lip briefly brushes against my fingertip. 07? What are you 07ing for? What do you mean? No, you can't 07 me! No. I'm not dying here. I refuse. Rin chews the slice carefully, savoring it as much as possible. I like this photo, this painting with the eyes above the, yeah. I become fixated on the movements of her jaw, the trickle of juice glistening on her lip, the way her throat moves when she swallows the orange slice. After I realize what I'm doing, I turn away, feeling embarrassed about watching her so intently. It's not the same as it usually is. The orange? Painting. Oh. Well, is anything like that ever the same? It is, sometimes, I think. I don't know what, though. I might be starting to paint differently soon, if this goes on. Well, wouldn't that just be that change you keep talking about? She thinks about it, blinking her eyes a few times nervously. For a moment, absolutely nothing happens, as if time itself did a double take. We stare at each other in silence, only that faint, tangy scent of orange floating between us, and the muffled sounds of traffic in the background. Then I pick up another slice and hold it to her. She takes it from me with her mouth just like the first one. I didn't think it would be like this. Well, keep on going and see what happens. It's not like you can do anything else. Yeah, it's the only thing I can do. After that, she says nothing more. In the ensuing silence, I feed Rin the rest of the orange, one slice at a time. Then I peel another for her, which she eats as well. The third I eat myself, and the rest are left in their plastic bag, which I put on a small desk next to the couch. She stands up and returns to her painting, with a strange look in her eyes that I haven't seen before. Like most of her expressions, it is completely unreadable. Even if I asked, she wouldn't explain what it means. Do. Making a job out of a hobby always makes things feel different. Yeah. Man, this is a fun hobby I have. I mean, maybe someday I can make it a job, but I don't know. I like where I'm at now with this. At the same time, though, we'll see. We shall see. Some days later, I spot Rin and Sai standing in front of the gallery as I walk down the street towards the gallery. They seem to be talking to each other while Sai has a smoke. Good afternoon. I say this even though it's not really afternoon anymore. I came a bit later than usual since I got caught up doing homework. It's gonna be dark soon. Hello there, Hisao. Came to visit the little kitten again. Stop saying that, Sai. Rin makes a face at the nickname. I guess she doesn't like it. Ironically, the way she wrinkles her nose like that really does make her look a little bit like a cat. Hello. Sai turns back to Rin to continue the conversation they were having. So, in other words, everything is going well enough? Rin makes a difficult expression and turns...
So after 3 oranges are tortured, then killed, the rest are imprisoned in an unbreathable prison.
Accurate. Free my homies, they did nothing wrong. My homies did nothing wrong. Rin makes a difficult expression and turns her face away from me for some reason. She doesn't like where her art is. Yep, it's difficult. It's like I'm missing something, but I will do it. Work hard and it'll be fine. I'm gonna have to start working on my part of the preparations. I need to do a sales catalog, invitations, decorations, advertisement, and so on. I need the names for your works, and we also need to think up the general theme for the exhibition. I don't have anything like that. I'm not very good with words, so I don't use them. If I cannot use them, I mean, sometimes I have to, but I think this is not a time like that at all. You don't like naming your works? I don't like it. Well, I guess it's hard to come up with a good name for something like this. Rin shakes her head vehemently. It's not like that. It's like if I paint a cloud and call it an octopus, people will think about it differently than if I paint a cloud and call it the end of the world. Every name is wrong. Nothing ever explains what I feel like when I make a painting. It's not a word thing.
The exhibition name should be Orange's Funeral.
The only thing would be to come up with new words for everything. But would it help at all? No, I don't think so. Then the paintings would go with just unnamed number 1 and so on. It's a bit inconvenient, but that's no good. Unnamed means that you just didn't come up with a good name, and unnamed is a name, like that Greek guy with the sheep and all. Sai thinks about this for a while, furrowing her brow as she keeps looking at Rin's serious face. So you're saying your artwork should be completely without labels? I think that's what I'm saying. Sai lets out a dry laugh, the kind old ladies who smoke too much always seem to end up with. Let's hope your art will never end up in a museum. The curators would explode. She takes a contemplative puff on her cigarette, just worn down not much more than the butt. Then she drops it into an ashtray affixed to the wall next to the door. And again, good work. What do you mean? This namelessness, this rejection of labels, it works. It's a good unifying theme. It's something people can grasp onto easily. Allows for a lot of room for interpretation. It gives a good impression. Think about it. All sorts of associations can be made, starting from identity and self-definition, all the way to whatever you want to think about. We could call your exhibition Nameless and build it on that theme. How does that sound? Rin thinks about this for a while. I'm not sure how Sai managed to get so fired up by Rin's reluctance to apply names to her works. It feels like she might be extrapolating too much, but it's a pretty impressive sounding idea. I don't think it's a bad idea. For what it's worth, I have to say it sounds pretty good to me too. Sai reaches into her pocket for another cigarette, lighting it with a neon green butane lighter. Her forehead wrinkles, and she rubs it as she appears to furiously think more on this idea. She doesn't say a word for a little bit, but every now and then she takes a sharp drag from the cigarette. Yeah, I think this would work out pretty nicely. I'm gonna take this as the starting point and work from there. I'm gonna work on this. You go back upstairs and try to find your missing ingredient. I'm sure it'll come to you sooner or later. Rin doesn't reply, so Sai takes one last long pull from her cigarette and drops it into the tray, to join the others of its kind. The gallery owner turns to head back inside, but is stopped by Rin just as she reaches the door handle. Sai? What is it, Stop! What is it, kitten? Can I have some cigarettes? No! She looks at Rin incredulously, clearly not having expected such a direct request. Not that I did either. Don't tell your teacher. She stuffs the packet in Rin's pocket along with a neon green lighter. The day is already folding into dusk when we climb up the dark stairs leading up to what is now basically Rin's atelier. All right, I'm gonna put money on this. She's not gonna smoke it. She's gonna use it for something else in art. That's what I'm thinking. I got the galaxy brain prediction. As we go inside, Rin doesn't seem to be able to settle down. She keeps pacing around the room like a caged animal, looking through the skylight at the burgundy-colored dusk. The last light of the sun's advance across the sky reflects from the clouds floating over the town, filling every corner of the atelier with blazing orange light. This is my act, ladies and gentlemen. We have just got orange after orange after orange. She's gonna smoke an orange. She's gonna smoke an orange. No! No, don't do that! So, painting is going well. Sal, have you been paying attention? She feels like she's missing something. She blinks, then relaxes her muscles. I didn't even realize how tensed up she was until now. Not really. I haven't painted in 3 days. I'm going in squares. Circles. If you say so. I tried doing things a bit differently, but it doesn't work. Now the old way doesn't work either. I need something more. It's not enough like this. Rin's response gives me pause, since, as usual, I can't exactly understand what she means. Although really, I shouldn't have expected anything else. She either says nothing at all, or too much. Trying to comprehend and follow her train of thought feels like wading through the jungles of Borneo equipped with a wooden spoon and a map of Hokkaido. It's annoying how her thoughts are both laid out in plain sight and hidden from view every time she opens her mouth. What more? You said that to Sai as well. A missing ingredient? I think I have to destroy myself. Okay, that sounds unnecessarily grim. What do you mean? Rin's shoulders slump, and she turns to face me directly. I have to change. I've tried, but this is not enough yet. I have to destroy myself first, I think. Just to be clear, you are speaking metaphorically, right? Like, learning to paint from scratch again, or whatever, so to speak? She shrugs her shoulders as if there's no difference. There is no difference. So, you're gonna start by smoking a cigarette? For inspiration? Maybe. I've never tried this before. Have you? No. Can't say I have. Still, I'm not really sure if having a smoke is the best starting point. She responds to my words with another nonchalant shrug. I open the cigarette pack and look inside. Almost full. Smoking is bad for you, but that's the idea here, I guess. Yes, I need to do something. I want to paint, I need something more. Okay, maybe she is actually smoking. So, okay, fine. What's after smoking a cigarette, then? How do you intend to destroy yourself? Rin thinks for a split second, averting her gaze like she does when she doesn't want to get distracted. I don't know yet. I'll decide later. Rin bends down to pick out a cigarette from the end. She raises her head with one between her lips and turns to me, eyebrows curved into 2 arcs, challenging me to respond. Fentanyl. No! With a sigh of... I like this image. This is a good frame. This is a good frame. With a sigh of resignation, I pick up the lighter and raise it to meet the cigarette. I can feel Rin's warm breath against my quivering hand. The flame flickers to life on the 3rd strike of the flint, and I try to aim the dancing fire at the end of the cigarette. An amber-colored glow spreads into the wrapping paper and tobacco as Rin inhales the first smoke. It seems to relax her significantly. To my surprise, she doesn't cough, despite telling me that she's a first-timer. Rin seems to remember that it's hard to blow the smoke out without spitting the cigarette out as well. She quickly sits down on the floor, bringing her foot to her lips like a circus contortionist, and expertly picks the filter between her 2 toes. I get down on the floor as well, and we both lie down almost simultaneously while Rin blows a steady stream of smoke towards the dim sky beyond the glass of the skylight.
No, don't light it. That's how the Age of Flame begins.
I want to see Rin play Dark Souls now. Yeah, there's a challenge run for a video. I try to beat Dark Souls with my feet. Although I think that would imply that I would need to get a foot cam for authenticity, and I'm not doing that. The thin haze of steely blue smoke slithers towards the ceiling in fish-like movements. It billows in the stagnant air of the atelier, twisting and turning around its own immaterial body until it dissipates in thin air. What's the word for smoke that looks like that? There is no word for that. We should maybe come up with one. Maybe. Rin takes another quick, experimental drag. It's not very tasty. Feels like inhaling the dust lying on top of a forgotten book about the memories of a dead kingdom. Do you want to try? My hesitation unintentionally surfaces again, making me freeze in the face of a rather trivial and commonplace challenge. Rin's ability to take everything so coolly is something I'm a bit jealous of. Alright. Taking it from her, I have a drag. Taking it from her, I have a drag on it, fighting against the sudden choking feeling in my lungs as they fill with smoke. To my embarrassment, I fail, wheezing and hacking my lungs out. I feel flustered, but maybe I haven't lost too much face in Rin's eyes. Dude, I don't think she cares. It's less unpleasant on the second try, but I still pass the cigarette back to Rin. Like a pair of budding delinquents in middle school, sneaking their first smoke out of sight of their teachers and parents. Well, I suppose it's not like, that's exactly what we are. After a while, the cigarette has shrunk most of the way down to the filter. Rin is still looking quietly out of the skylight. With her looking out there, the silence inside the atelier seems to deepen even more. Are the cogs of creativity turning behind those eyes right now? Do another one. I mechanically pick another cigarette, light it, and place it on Rin's lips. She takes a few quick puffs and moves it awkwardly around with her lips. Not understanding her garbled words, I glance over at Rin. Looks like she's having trouble with the cigarette. I pick the cigarette from her lips and place it on mine. Mind? On mine. Abandoning common sense and good reason while I do so. Gasp! An indirect kiss. The first one should have been enough for me, but I take another drag, still coughing a little at the unpleasant sensation of smoke invading my respiratory organs. I remember doing something like this before. Dude, considering your heart condition, should you also be fucking up your lungs too? So you have smoked? Doesn't look like it though. Nah, lying on my back and looking at the sky with you. Oh. The sky on the other side of the glass is growing darker. And there's a weird cursor-looking thing on the window. Just kind of moving around on its own. I can't make any sense of it. It's unreachably high, even if the shimmering smoke seems to make it closer. I return the cigarette back to Rin's mouth. It feels bad somehow. The space between us, less than an arm's reach, still there. Can't imagine why. It's the distance between us, the immeasurably wide chasm of thoughts and feelings that separates us with graver certainty than even light years of physical distance could. By saying the right words, there might be a way to make that chasm narrower, even if it's just a little. I try to cross that.
That was a mouse that ate all the paint.
It's dead then. That mouse is dead. I tried to cross that gap with one big step, but Rin turned me back. I glance at her out of the corner of my eye. Rin is staring upward through the smoke-filled ceiling and the skylight at the darkening sky above us. It's almost like she is sleeping, even though I know she isn't.
If they can't hold hands, do they hold feet?
They definitely interlock toes. Her eyes are open, as is her mouth. I take the cigarette from Rin before it falls on her cheek. She doesn't react to my touch in any way. So, this is where we are now. I wonder if we can ever be closer than this. I take a drag of the cigarette and blow a thin stream of smoke upwards. These indirect kisses... I was joking when I said that! These indirect kisses are the only thing that connects us right now. The taste of Rin's lips on the filter, mixed with the ashen taste of the smoke. her soft lips against my fingers as I pressed the cigarette on her mouth, as if she was placing kisses on them. The ash softly falling on the floor between us like snow. As the second cigarette is being finished off, I'm already lighting the third one. Dude, stop! The only thing breaking the stillness is that...
Hey guys,
Hi.
did you know that in terms of human companionship, Flareon is objectively the most huggable Pokemon? While their maximum temperature is likely too much for most, they are capable of controlling it, so they can set themselves to the perfect temperature for you. Along with that, they have a lot of fluff, making them undeniably incredibly soft to touch. But that's not all, they have a very respectable special defense stat of 110, which means that they are likely very calm and resistant to emotional damage because of this. If you have a bad day, you can vent it while hugging.
We're
it,
having
and
a
it
moment,
It
Flareon!
can make itself even more endearing with moves like
I don't
Charm and
care,
Baby Doll.
Flareon! I don't care how
Ensuring that
endearing
never
you
have a
are!
prolonged bout of depression ever again. Thank you, Flareon.
The only thing breaking the stillness of the atelier is the inaudible sound of smoke floating towards the first stars blinking overhead, and the Flareon redeem being activated. Thank you, Flareon. Light nausea hits me by the fourth or fifth cigarette. Before long, the shape of the waxing moon appears in the skylight, shedding her wan light down on us. It'll be full moon in a few days. I'm dying. It'd be nice to be able to fly. I flinch after realizing it was my own voice. Yeah, stop smoking, Hisao. You're ruining my ability to read and speak. I flinch after realizing it was my own voice that gave birth to the remark. The bastard child of the almost inebriating smoke and tiredness. You can't? You can? Sometimes I feel like it, like I can do anything. I wish I felt like that too sometimes. I wonder if she hears the bitterness seeping into my words. The vicious cycle of unrequited feelings is poisoning me, even now. I try to push the grim thoughts aside. My efforts meet with little success as my mind keeps swirling around what-ifs and if-onlys. Watching the moon slowly creeping higher, I realize that a long time has passed since I came here. It sobers me somewhat, but also reminds me of the sad status quo we're in now. It's late. I'd better get going back to school. I stand up to leave, but Rin doesn't show any sign of rising up from the floor. She lies inanimate, as though all life had been sapped from her. Little wisps of smoke float about her, memories of the cigarettes we shared. I grasp her by her short and thin arm and try to pull her up. To my surprise, she complies and stands up with some help from me. I notice how little Rin weighs, as if she were made of feathers. Are you going to stay here overnight? I have to. I haven't painted much in 3 days. I have to find out how I can start painting. Maybe the smoke helps. Just take a break? That's no good. I have to do it. If I can't paint anymore, I'll be destroyed for real. Maybe you're just burned out. You have been working pretty hard. That would be bad. I wonder if this is it for me. I wanted to see how far I can go. Maybe this is it. The end. You just have an artist block. It's not a big deal. That's the word for when you can't paint, right? I've had that before. Never like this, though. I pick up a brush, then I want to put it down right away. And then I do. 3 days. It's like I've forgotten how to paint. I didn't think that was possible. Like, more impossible than Emmy growing wings and a tail. You need a break. I mean, I get that you're trying to go deeper inside yourself for your paintings, but it's really not that healthy to stay inside your own head for so long. Sal, that was the wisest thing I think I've ever heard you say. Damn, bro. I glance at the night sky, visible through the window. A couple of stars are weakly twinkling above the city. They remind me of something I used to do, once upon a time. It feels so horribly long ago. Come on, let's go outside. Where? Just for a walk. I'll show you my secret place. I don't know if it works in this town, but we can try. In any case, you need a break, and probably something to eat. Come on. You need to get your thoughts away from this for a while. When they're troubled, most people escape from their unhappy lives into a world of fantasy. I did that before, and still do today. Reading books endlessly, immersing myself in their world rather than my own. Rin's escape should be the other way around, though. Out of her inner world and into the real. Rin doesn't look happy about this, but I ignore her. At least she's somewhat cooperative, walking after me as we head down the stairs and then down the sidewalk. Night has fallen upon the town. It's a gentle summer night, smelling of flowers and hot asphalt. The sunlight is replaced by shining neon colors and bland yellow streetlights. The air is easy to breathe, as if the air pressure was noticeably lighter than usual. The feeling of daytime in the hot summer has lasted long into the evening and night. I grab Rin by her sleeve like I've seen Emmy do, and, to my surprise, she obediently follows. The pale streetlights fight against the all-enveloping darkness as we walk together. The guide and the guided, although neither knows the destination.
Reading my immortal the Harry Potter fan FIC.
Shut up! But it doesn't matter. This is the one moment where the usual silences that have become a ritual between me and Rin at last fit perfectly. We walk side by side, choosing directions on impulse or inspiration. Sometimes we find ourselves back at a street we'd already seen once or twice. Sometimes we find new streets. All of them look asleep. Rin doesn't ask where we're going. Maybe she doesn't care. Maybe she knows I don't have an answer. The silence of the night isn't scary, after all. The lights drive most of it away. The air grows cooler as the moon progresses along its journey in the cloudless sky. Few cars roam the streets at this hour, and even fewer people are on the sidewalk. The apparent lack of nocturnal life is somehow befitting of this place. There are around-the-clock shops and cafes, sure, but the atmosphere is like the town itself is slumbering. A town that sleeps 8 hours a day. The city I grew up in, bathed in the electric glow of a million light bulbs, never slept. I have seen it for myself. It's not the first time I've done this. It happened one of the first times I was home alone. Both of my parents had business trips that neither could cancel, so they deemed me old enough to survive 2 days on my own. Their misplaced trust in me did not go to waste as I proceeded to spend the entire night out walking around the city. Even afterward, I couldn't say what made me stay downtown longer than I intended after school. I didn't feel like going home, so I stayed through the evening and eventually through the entire night. I walked long, concentric circles around a landmark chosen at random. For some reason, the nighttime city felt fascinating, so I walked its streets. At every intersection, it was possible to choose your direction at random because they all led nowhere. The aimless wandering made me see things differently. I hope it'll do the same for Rin. We stopped to buy some hot coffee and snacks from a vending machine, and then locate a bench where we sit down to eat. There is no time in the night of the town, so we spend an unknown amount of it just sitting there, observing the stillness of the usually water break time. Ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga chaka. Okay. There's no time in the night of the town, so we spend an unknown amount of it just sitting there, observing the stillness of the usually vivid townscape. Still, it's getting very late, and soon it'll be getting very early. So is this it? Hearing Rin's voice surprises me. She doesn't sound bored. Rather, her tone is inquisitive, uncertain as to why I dragged her out here, yet curious to find out the answer. Yeah. Have you ever been out at night? All night? It's like a different world. You could make an anime out of this. The remark sends her thinking for a while, looking around as if she was looking for something. The wisps of light reflecting from the corners of her eyes are suddenly very sharp. It's not a different world. It's the same, just asleep. What do you think this town is dreaming of? Maybe something like car sheep or building sheep. Why are dreams always about sheep? I've never seen a sheep-related dream that I can remember. Do different towns dream of different things? Probably. How could they not? I answer, half joking, half spurring her on. For the first time tonight, it seems like a bit of Rin's life has returned to her. She doesn't continue her list of rhetorical questions, though. Instead, she leans back a little and looks up at the moon traveling above the town. The cool breeze blowing between the buildings seems to steal the conversation away before it even really begins. It's too bad. Looked like Rin would get out of her blue mood. I wish I could somehow know the right things to say, but I realize I can't do that the way I am now. They did make an anime out of it. Yeah, season 2, baby! I'm too far apart from Rin. I haven't really managed to crack her open. She's just too complicated. It's like she's open to everything, equally disinterested in everything from the outset. In truth, she's locked tighter than anyone else I know, even myself. I don't quite think she's as complicated as you make her out to be, but that's besides the point. Sometimes she locks herself inside that inner world, shutting everything else out. At other times, her thoughts flow freely from her mind, but not organized in any fashion that would make them intelligible to the rest of the world. What comes out in the form of paintings I can't interpret. To me, it's just a sea of colors and shapes, not a message. She's too far away. I now know it was a bad idea to try to reach for her in the way I did, but I can't help liking her. I look at the fingers of my right hand, trying to remember what Rin's lips felt like against them. Do you ever feel like you're trying to reach out for something that's impossible to reach? Saying that to the girl with no arms, dude. It's apparently an anime in class of '08. I've heard it's not that good. Like the last game was also not that good, which is a shame because I was kind of interested in it. And then I heard it came out and there's like a disturbing amount of feet related content, and I was like, I'm not gonna. Toasty and I played the second one and we enjoyed going through that one, and I'm like, I'm not gonna subject Toasty to this. It's only a single episode though, yeah. Rin turns her gaze to me, tilting her head quizzically. I wonder if she understands the meaning of my own rhetorical question or not. Either way, I like how I can manage to catch her attention just by speaking aloud nowadays. All the time. At least I think so. That's what painting feels like a lot of the time. Or all the time. I don't know. Sometimes I get the feeling that I can really paint what I want. Sometimes it feels like it's just another shadow of me. Like a mirror that doesn't work right. Like talking? Maybe. When I was little, I didn't really have friends. Maybe it's the same now. The only things I liked were pens and paints. They were the only things that understood me. Now it feels like that is going away too. Change really is a scary thing. I wish I could understand you. She looks at me melancholically, roused by my thoughts materializing as words spoken aloud. Aw, she looks so sad. Me too. Oh no! Oh, my heart! My soul! Don't say those words, little anime girl. It'll all be okay. Whether she meant she wished for me to understand her to understand me, or her to understand herself, I never ask, nor do I find out. It's definitely the last one, I think. I see her eyes searching for mine. Serious and cryptic as they are, I'm not getting any explanation from there.
She is like the lost kitty.
Shut up! It's always a roller coaster with the artsy girls. Yeah. Don't worry about it. I will. Small hints of a smile are wavering on her lips. When she's like this, it makes me feel that maybe there's hope for us. We get along so well for being so different. Just that we never really get along precisely because we are so different. Maybe it was Rin's passionate approach for her own art exhibition, or perhaps my own careless words, but last week was different from usual. The small friction between us seems to be somewhat volatile, but at least we now seem to be back to normal. Relatively speaking. We stand up from the bench and pick yet another direction in which to go. The wee hours of night slowly pass by as we measure the streets of the town one step at a time. We are finally at ease, not minding the rare lone passerby, the eerie darkness, each other, ourselves. Rin's steps seems lighter, like the heavy air around her is letting go a little. It makes me feel happy. We don't talk, save for the single remarks that are spoken into the night of the town and never answered. The details jump into the eye instead of being the usual blur they are during the day. As the sky above the town changes from deep, dark blue to gray, I know that our night is soon ending. It's almost morning. Rin looks up too and nods at me. It's true. Coming light of morning is creeping through the sky, climbing higher by the minute. It feels surreal. The sun won't come up for a while, but I get the feeling that the end of this night really is here and now. Should we head back? Rin nods again, twice, her hair waving in the breeze that seems to be heralding the coming dawn. Abruptly, she takes off, taking the lead in this walkabout on which I'd brought her. It seems she really is in a better mood. This, too, makes me feel happy. Rin's navigational skills are probably not much better than mine, but we eventually find ourselves in front of Sai's place. I don't know if this was any help. I did this once before, but it's more because of a stupid impulse, or maybe restlessness back then. Maybe this was a silly idea and didn't really help you at all. She just nods as an answer. So, do you know how you're gonna destroy yourself now? I have some ideas. I don't want to see you for a while. Don't come and see me. Do something else. Her ultimatum catches me completely off guard. What the hell? What's that about? You said before that you didn't mind. Dumped. Oof. No. You're missing. Let's go back a couple bits. Do you know how you're going to destroy yourself now? Yes, I don't want to see you. She likes us. She likes us. She wants us to stop coming by so that she can destroy herself. Loneliness. That's what it is. It's terrible. It's awful. Don't do it, Rin. Wrong way. What the hell? What's that about? You said before that you don't mind. I mind now. It's just for a while. I have to do this alone. I don't like that. Why? I don't want it to go like this. Why? I just don't want to feel this distance between you and me. Why? She tilts her head like a bird, her eyes narrowing a little as she thinks. Then you can touch me. What? You can touch me if you want. You'd feel better, right? I don't know. Try. Where do you want me to touch you? No boobs or left ear? Other than that, you can decide. Fine. I raise my hand hesitantly, even though I don't know why I'm actually doing this. Her eyes tell me that she's not going to explain. 1,000 thoughts race through my head as I slowly bring my hand closer to Rin's face and press 3 fingers against her pale cheek. Rin feels soft and cold. She closes her eyes on contact and visibly relaxes. I can feel her soft breathing, her muscles releasing tension as my fingertips caress her cheek. She doesn't rest her head against my palm or anything else you'd expect a girl to do in this sort of situation. In fact, she hasn't reacted at all, save for those now shut eyes. Once I withdraw my hand, she opens them again. It might just be an illusion created by the timid morning sunlight playing with my eyes, but Rin looks like she's holding back a smile. This is the problem with our relationship. Half the time I have no idea what's going on, and the other half I just fail to understand why things are going on like they are. As usual, I'm not going to get an explanation. Rin merely takes a step towards the door. See you later. Then she disappears from my reach. for an undefined period of time. Ah. Ooh. Interesting, interesting, interesting. I hold true to my promise of honoring Rin's request, even if it's against my own will. I try to redirect my focus into my studies, but end up zoning out during classes and doing only the minimum amount of work required. Still, I start looking into my post-high school options a bit more seriously. I pore over university brochures and various career paths. I'm good at studying, so I want to go to a university. I'm pretty sure I could get into a pretty decent one, too. The only problem is deciding which subject would be best. Kenji ridicules me about subjecting myself to the control of feminist teachers when I tell him about trying to get into a university. I don't ask him about what he wants to do in the future. I wonder what Rin thinks of her own future. I bet she's not as lost as I am. No, she probably is. And if she is, it's probably in some completely different way. You're at least probably right about that. I feel somewhat disappointed in finding out that I can't stop thinking about her. Her request makes me worry about her, and I think about her more. More than I did when I could go see her when I wanted. It bothers me that I can't. As expected, I eventually crack. Late one afternoon, I get on the bus heading downtown. I try to avoid explaining to myself exactly why I'm doing this, and keep thinking about other things for the entire duration of the trip. After a 5-minute walk, I'm standing in front of the gallery. I walk past it to the door of the atelier, but at the last moment, I lose my courage and continue on all the way to the next corner, at which point I turn back. Will Rin hate me if I go and see her? I wonder what she's like when she's angry. I've never seen her angry. The worst thing would be if I actually ruined something by going to see her, like she seemed to imply would happen. But there's no way that can be true. Can there? That's just one of her quirks. I walk back down the street and end up passing the atelier door for the second time. Only this time, as I continue all the way to the gallery, its owner is standing just outside the door, watching me. I thought that was you. What are you doing? I really don't want to explain the circumstances between Rin and me, so I get flustered and end up mumbling something unclear. She takes stock of me and then sighs deeply, looking wryly amused somehow. I hope she didn't misunderstand. Would you like to come in? Your teacher's visiting. We were discussing Rin's exhibition. Thanks for the invitation, but I really should... Don't be shy now. Come on in. I follow Sai inside, finding that our art teacher indeed is there. Nomiya is standing at the big desk, contemplating on what looks like an invitation card. Look what the cat dragged in. Nakai, hello there, my boy. He doesn't seem to be at all fazed by my appearance. How do you like the invitations? That is... I like it, actually. That's good. I glance at them quickly. They're kind of fancy, with one of Rin's paintings printed on the front cover in shiny gold writing. They look fine to me. They're magnificent. I absolutely love the design, and the embossed gold lettering, fabulous. Good print work, too. You have to tell me where you get these done. What does Rin think? I haven't asked. She said she'd be fine with my decision anyway. Nomiya laughs boisterously, still turning the gold-lettered card in his hands. That's my girl. She wants to focus on the essentials only. Good for her. Her work is progressing well, too. It seems she found new inspiration. Do you think she just wants to get it done as fast as possible to be with Hisao? I think she's been sort of weird lately. It's like she's still wrestling with something. With herself, probably, and it makes her confused. She said she had a hard time painting, last I saw her. It seems to be resolved now, however. You know she practically lives up there now, right? Sai makes a simple gesture with his hand, as if sweeping my question aside. Sure. Don't you think that's weird? Maybe it is. Still, I think she understands how big an opportunity this is and is going for it, full throttle. Is it really that big? Nomiya sets the card down and brushes some imaginary dust off his jacket.
Well, how should I put it? There are times in everyone's lives where something really big washes over you and changes you forever. This could just be that moment for Tsuka.
I see. Yeah, I think I have had something like that happen to me. I'm referring to the incident that brought me to Yamaku. Neither of the two adults comment on that, however.
It might well be that everyone has, or will, at any rate, surrender... Oh, sorry, let me try that again. At any rate, surrendering oneself to art is a big decision, and a thorny path too, quite thorny indeed. Tezuka has almost everything one needs, but whether she has the will to pull through, that's a different question. I should know that best. I tried going down this path too, but turned away in the end.
I don't understand what he's trying to say.
Ooh. Oh, this is a hard one. Oh, this is a tough one.
Let's see. The first one would be information gathering on Nomiya, trying to figure out why he is the way that he is, right? We know that he's a very art-focused person. So for him to turn away from art, from making art himself for any reason, is a pretty big deal for him. And could shed some light on Rin's situation. Conversely, the second one, let's see, the second one is basically questioning if he's... I'm trying to word this in a good family-friendly way. He's trying to push his dreams onto Rin because he never achieved them, basically. And that could actually be what's happening with him, considering how pushy he is about Rin and all that. And I still don't get his whole situation. Like, he's kind of obsessed with the fact that she has no arms and is still an artist. The second one seems less confrontational. I also know you spent a lot of time here regarding the second question. Yeah, they're just standing here at Hisao, looking at him, think of what to say next. I'm leaning towards asking him why he turned away from art. Because that could give another perspective into how Rin is thinking. And that can maybe help Hisao and her navigate the situation. And realistically, why he's being so supportive of Rin, does it really matter right now? It doesn't really matter right now, does it? He's also a teacher. He's gonna do the best. He's gonna do everything he not wants. He's gonna do everything best for his students. We'll say it that way. So that doesn't really matter. So the top question is what we're gonna go with. We wanna learn more about him. See if his situation can relate to Rin at all, and see how maybe it can help her. Let's do it. Why did you stop exactly? You've mentioned that before.
Oh, that's a long story.
Nomiya throws a sideways glance at the gallery owner, who has drawn her mouth into a thin, straight line.
I've had a life-changing experience like that, even though I didn't realize it until later. Did I tell you that Sai and I have known each other for a long time? We studied at the same school. It's been... Goodness, how long has it really been?
Please don't count the years, Shinichi.
Maybe you're right. At any rate, when we were in school, we had this, friend, I should say.
Oh no, I don't like where this is going. We were in the same program, and I think he met Sai at some party. I got to know Sai through him, in fact. He was a spectacular artist, much like Tezuka. Great talent despite the young age. He easily left the rest of us in his dust. We were good friends, he and I, but there were things that created friction in the friendship. Oh my god, does this sound familiar? It felt like I was watching him from afar. You weren't the only one. Nomiya coughs, looking embarrassed. At any rate, he, ended up taking his own life. Such a tragedy. In retrospect, that was what made me choose a career as a teacher in the end. I was never that brilliant, nor that passionate. I desperately wanted to be a career artist, but I wasn't suited for that. You were good enough.
Perhaps I would have been, but this is what I ended up with. I just didn't have that drive after he was gone. I'm fond of kids and enjoy all forms of art, so it felt rather natural to take this path in life. But I think all that history with that friend of ours was the key thing. As sad as it was, a turning point, as they say. Sai stands up and digs in the pockets of her jacket for a cigarette and a lighter. Her hands are shaking. Alright, now I see why he cares so much about, Rin. Alright, fair enough. Fair enough, I don't hate you as much anymore, buddy. Alright, your sad story made me, respect... Well, I don't necessarily want to say respect you a little more, but it made me not hate you. I'm going out for a smoke. Wordlessly, Nomiya and I both decide to follow her after a moment. It's already dark outside. Sai is standing with her back to us, taking sharp, occasional drags on her cigarette. Sympathize? Yeah, sympathize. That's a good way to put it. Or empathize, actually. I think empathize is the technically correct term. Its weak amber glow illuminates her face, framing her sharp jawline. Maybe it's best to call it a night. I can give you a lift back to school if you want, Nakai. You're not going anywhere, Shinichi. I need a drink. We're going to that place at the corner. The teacher looks at the old lady and then shrugs at me apologetically. That's no problem. I'll just catch the bus back. I'm headed upstairs to see if Rin will come back to school with me anyway. I think she's been staying overnight here too often lately. Sai locks the front door of the gallery and links arm with the old art teacher. I feel strange looking at them. I wonder what it feels like to have friends who've been with you for decades, for most of your life. I can't imagine it. It's not so bad. It's nice, actually. The two of them start making their way down the street towards the bar on the corner. So I quickly head upstairs to the atelier door, ready to get to what I originally came here for. I climb upstairs and enter carefully. The room is dark because of the quickly falling night, but I can see Rin, or rather, her silhouette sitting on the floor. So, she's got her inspiration back, like Sai said, and moved from easel painting to the floor. Before I manage 5 steps, I stop, frozen in my tracks. Aww. Rin is sitting on the floor with her legs under her. Something in the atmosphere of the room changes. A little thing. Not consciously noticeable, but it changes. Perhaps a timid current from the open door, or a minute change in air pressure. The sound of my breathing, even though I notice I haven't taken a breath for many, many seconds. The aura of my presence. That something catches Rin's senses. She stops moving, freezes, and slowly turns to the door. I imagine, not see, the horror on her face, like a fawn's eyes staring at a hunter. I wonder if Rin can see my expression, but at least she doesn't have the strength or the spirit to look straight in my eyes. So she droops her chin against her chest, letting her mess of a hair hide her face from me even further. I feel like I should either walk out or walk to her, but I can't do either. I told you to stay away. Her words are defeated, painful, as if she was suffering. There's no way I can back off anymore. I lost that chance, so I do the next best thing. I quickly avert my gaze, even though Rin doesn't see what I'm looking at.
I'm sorry, I didn't think... It's not like that. Her voice is raspy, shivering from held-back tears or something else. She wearing pants? This room does look like an aquarium. Will something happen? Maybe. We are in Act 3. That's usually when the first one happens, after all. She is shaking, looking like she is physically in pain. What did you do, girl? Did you take something you shouldn't have? It's not like that. I have no idea what it really means to change, but I know now that you have no idea what I've had to do and all the things that pass through, and I think I forget I really don't... They just build up inside and grow and grow and grow until they flow out like a flow of everything that has ever been wrong. I can't take it. I can't think of the things I want because there's only so many things that I can think. 4, 6, 7. Doesn't matter. It's never enough. I have to let this out. I have to destroy, forget it, and nothing else. Rin is mumbling her words into the air more than talking to me. It is the rambling, ranting, raving speech of a lunatic, even and steady in tone, but taking the form of a never-ending stream of words, almost simultaneously spawning from between her lips. It feels like she forgot it is me who is present, or that someone is actually present. Maybe she vaguely recognizes what is real and what is not. Maybe in her mind I am a voice inside her head. She looks more broken than I imagined a human person being capable of, and the hospital and school have given me some real perspective on that. I remember the hazy blue smoke, and myself wondering what Rin would do for the sake of art. The realization that Rin really is always serious hits me with its entire weight. She really and truly would destroy herself if her art required it. I thought she was so silly with her strange ways, talking about personal change as if it was something sudden and concrete, like waking up. I had no idea. This is her, laid bare in front of my eyes in all possible meanings of the word. Complete isolation here on the top floor of this building, in this room, in her mind. Day after day, working on her paintings, with no heed paid to anything else, breaking herself to reach that which she wishes to reach. Why does she have to do this? I'm trying to connect the pieces, but I don't understand. I feel sad, scared, excited, disgusted, worried, and a number of emotions I can't remember the name of now. I feel conflicted. I should go. I'm really sorry. It doesn't matter. My voice is dry and quiet, like sandpaper coming out of my throat. I really am sorry. Sorry for seeing this. I don't want to see Rin like this. All I can see is her sadness, her stress and despair. Is this what a limit means? How could Saya no Miya let Rin go this far? Or is it me who is to blame? Like I was just a Mona Lisa there in this event, I know, right? I almost walk out, right there, but at the last moment I turn around, steel myself, and walk to Rin to crouch down behind her and lightly touch her forehead. She doesn't resist or react. I can't leave her like this. She's not well. She feels like she has a fever, freezing cold and burning hot at the same time. I wonder if she got sick from staying out all night with me back then. Seems she's prone to getting ill. There is a blanket on the couch, but I wrap my arms around Rin instead of fetching it. She does not resist my clumsy hug, only slumps her head lower, deepening the shadows, hiding her face from me. What are you doing? Nothing. I'm not embracing her out of love, nor out of forgiveness, for I am in love, or is she sorry? I just want to hug her. For a moment, the only sound in the room is her heavy breathing. My body warmth, shared between two people, is barely enough, but slowly, painfully slowly, it spreads from me to her. The small warmth returning to Rin makes me more conscious of her body against mine. Even in the darkness, I can feel the fleeting scent of Rin's hair, the sweat on her skin, the dried paint stuck in her shirt. I feel the hardness of her bones and the softness of her flesh. Her heartbeats echoing mine, out of rhythm, just like always. The hot blood rushing inside me reminds me why I said what I said back then, why I came here even after that, why I am here tonight again. Why I am hugging her now to keep her safe against the cold and the sadness. Rin has really grown on me inside my heart, claiming a small part of it as her own without even particularly trying. Rin, Even if she wanted to push me away, I can't help this feeling. Are you alright, Rin? I'm not. I think I broke. I painted some really good things. Incredible. But it hurt me. I can't handle this. Her voice cuts out, as there are no more words for her to say. It's not an angry voice, nor a sad voice. It's a lifeless voice. I pet her head and shoulders, the physical equivalent of saying, there. It's not like I could reassure her with the sweet nothings that people are supposed to say in this kind of situation. I'm not sure if she would even listen, or be reassured. She didn't react much to my embrace either, as if she didn't care. Maybe she doesn't. At least she doesn't care if she looks sad or not. There are no facades, no attempts to explain herself, no faux happiness. Rin is honest. Huh? Shrimp? Now I gotta know what happened. How did it lead into that? Hello? I don't need questions or I don't need sleep. I need answers. What happened? How did you go from that to that? Game, explain.
Shri MMMMP.
I might actually have to install the I definitely need to like most of the other scenes, I don't need the full context of. This one I do. I'm gonna install the H patch at some point and replay this just so that I can figure out how we got from point A to point B. Because I feel like there's definitely some important dialogue that I've missed there. God damn it. I reach out for the blanket and wrap it around her and me. Make sure to save at this point? Yeah, that's not a bad idea, actually. Rin doesn't resist me. She's drained of all strength. Please tell me. No, I'm not gonna say what I'm thinking. What will happen now? I don't know. Nothing, I suppose. You look tired. I am tired. It feels strange. Like I lost something. I mean, something else than my marital purity. Oh god, I feel a sneeze coming on, but it's not coming out, so give me a second. No, we're just gonna have to come back to that. Don't say something like that. Neither of those things. I don't want to lose you. What does that mean? I'm not going anywhere. I'm afraid that you are, all the time. In that moment, I felt that it was not only Rin who lost something of hers. I felt like I was losing a part of myself. Or maybe all of me. Sorry. Can you see all of me? Sorry. But if you were to ask what it was that I lost, I couldn't say, because I had already forgotten it. I broke another promise by coming out with my honest feelings to Rin. That's 2 in one day. I hate the distance between you and me. You were plenty close the other day, that last night. So every time it gets a little bit closer, I become afraid of losing it. That's weird. I guess so. Do you mind if I sleep a little? No, I guess you don't. You like watching, don't you? She closes her eyes and swallows with a loud gulp, trying to relax herself, fighting against the urge to paint. Yes, I do. Rin moves her body in my arms, searching for a comfortable position in our very uncomfortable position. She leans against me, closing her eyes, and lets one last long breath out before settling into the steady rhythm of sleep. With her last moment of awareness, she whispers something to me, but I can't hear it. Rin drifts deeper into sleep with a deep sigh that releases all remaining tension from her muscles. I try to shift around to place both of us more comfortably. It takes a while, because I don't want to wake up Rin, even though she probably wouldn't, but eventually I find a position I am somewhat comfortable with. I lean against the soft cushions of the couch and breathe in the cool air of the atelier. Rin's head rests against my chest, as if she was listening to my heartbeats. Echoes of her dream ripple as small twitches on her face, like a cat sleeping on the mouse hunter's dream. The full moon, shining her pale light upon us from beyond the skylight, reflects from a blank canvas standing forgotten on the easel. Its whiteness is glowing against the dark night of the atelier. Through the grogginess of a freshly awakened mind, I can observe my surroundings only one thing at a time. The morning light shining from the skylight is bright and sky-colored. It reflects from the white...
I'll be like. So anyways, I started shrimping.
Shrimping. Oh god, I'm gonna add that. I'm adding that as a toggle, as a trigger for the horny bell. Where is it? Where did I put that? There you are. I'm saying shrimping. Shrimping is what we're adding. Shrimping. There. You can now activate the horny bell by typing !shrimping. It reflects from the white walls and the colorful posters and paintings.
Future guests will have to guess if it's white paint or not.
I hope nobody at school realized that I spent the night here. They didn't find out the last time, so I am feeling confident about my chances. My neck is stiff and my shoulders are hurting like hell from sleeping in an awkward position like that. I can't even remember when I fell asleep. Only the full moon and Rin warm against me. I can't remember her waking up leaving my side. However, she has. Rin is standing in the middle of the atelier, looking as if she was lost. She's not looking at anything I can see, not doing anything, just standing there. She's managed to dress up a little by herself, a strange thing. I thought that at least would have been impossible without hands. I get up and walk to her, patting her on the shoulder to get her attention. Hey. She flinches at the contact. I've never seen Rin flinch. Rin looks a bit panicky, a bit anxious, a bit defensive, as if she were a completely different person last night. Perhaps she was. My heart dropped straight down to my stomach, full of liquid nitrogen. I'm sort of sorry. Why sorry? It wasn't very tactful of me, last night. But isn't this that sort of thing something you want because you like me? So blunt. I'm completely baffled by Rin's approach to this. No, even if it was, I think I'd prefer for things to go properly. Rin cocks her head, looking like she has no idea what I'm talking about. She still has this guarded feel about her, but nothing belies any real emotion. So you don't want to do that sort of thing? I didn't say that. So you do. I didn't say that either. Listen, it doesn't even matter. I just don't think it was the best thing I could have done in that situation, and I tried to apologize. I wonder for whose benefit I'm trying to come clear with these feelings. I don't even know why I'm feeling so terribly guilty. Maybe. I don't think it was a very good idea either. Probably. It's like you said, we're not like that. We are friends. It was a bad idea. Maybe you should forget about it, and I will too. I'm really good at forgetting things, so it should be alright with me. I can't do that. Why? Because I like you, that's why. I told you that you shouldn't talk about that. I don't agree. Besides, you brought it up yourself before. I hold my hand up and pinch the bridge of my nose in frustration. I have no idea how to get Rin to understand. I hate that Rin can't clearly tell what she feels about anything. I hate that she's sending these confusing signals, as if she's expecting me to read her mind. Do you hate me? So you hate me? Sal, you're throwing up so many red flags right now. She actually thinks about this for some time. I don't hate anything. I don't think I'm a hateful person. I'm gonna... This song can get copywritten, so we're gonna make it a lot quieter real quick. Let me know if that's too quiet. Then what am I to you? Help me understand. I try to sound as reasonable as I can, but I don't know if it will help. Rationally thinking, this is the only way to get her to understand my point of view. Problem is, rationality never was a thing for Rin. It doesn't restrict her like it restricts me. It's not her driving force. It doesn't make her behave like a normal person. I can't. Same answer. I feel so powerless. I feel frustrated. Why? I don't think you'd understand. I'm not sure if I do. Oh, God. This is a hard question. Oh, jeez. Oh, this is the hardest question. Easily. Maybe your friend can communicate via sign language. Let's go back a little bit. Reread some of these. What am I to you? I can't. I don't think I need to understand is the right answer. I also don't think it doesn't matter is the right answer. I think it's explain. See, this is the reason why. Well, it doesn't matter. It does matter a little bit. Not much, but it does matter, right? You can't build a relationship over not knowing each other, right? So that one we can throw out, I think, right away. I think we're back. I just had an OBS Studio disconnected message. Anyway. Explaining builds a connection. Exactly. That's why she needs to explain herself. Even if I don't understand, there needs to be an attempt at communication between the two of us, basically. And needing to understand isn't really important. Because you can't fully I think it was said already by someone else in this. I don't remember who said it, but
always complains about not having any link between them besides the one they had last meeting.
Yeah. I think it was someone else that said that you can't fully, it might have been Hisao thinking to himself, actually, but you can't ever fully understand somebody else. It's just not possible. You can't fully understand someone without being that person. But you try to get a little bit closer, day by day. So he doesn't need to understand. But there does need to be an attempt. So we're gonna let her explain. Fine, and explain to me. I can't. The same old stupid pattern emerges again. Me asking her questions, to which she replies with answers that don't answer anything because it's the only way we can converse. Apart from me listening to her blabbering about whatever, which isn't really a conversation. Is this a play? Are there some unseen roles that we have unknowingly set ourselves into? Dictating the rules of engagement whenever we see each other, inevitably leading us to hurting each other. I think that the music's gone, so I'm going to turn the game back up, even though there's no audio playing right now. Let me know if it's too loud. Her nonchalant answers, accompanied by even more nonchalant shrugs, leave me none the wiser. I hate it. So, I don't know what to say myself. I want to be angry. I am angry, but I also feel so powerless. Would anything I say matter at all? It's fine if you want to turn me down, but at least do it properly. And if you do, then last night was definitely a mistake. In fact, this whole thing might have been a mistake. I don't want to turn you down. So can't decide? But why are you playing with me like this then? Hug, then ignore me. Kiss, then ignore me. Play me like a fiddle, is that it? Kiss me, then forget again. My voice is sounding very angry again, even to myself. Rin, too, finally catches the mood. Okay, I think he can be a little louder. Yeah, that should be good. Rin, too, finally catches the mood, and her curious expression changes instantly to something more uncharacteristic. No, she leaves it at that, her eyes restlessly wandering around, searching the room as if the words she tries to find were written in the paintings she herself has wrought. Then what? I needed a paint, so... paint. My vision is flittering through the blood-red lens of unbridled anger. Don't give me that, Rin. I'm not some damn muse of yours, free to be abused for the sake of painting. I'm not some medium for whatever you aspire to. I am me. There's a limit to selfishness. Rin looks down at her toes and wiggles them a little melancholically while she takes in my outburst, without saying anything to defend herself. Only after I have finished does she try to respond somehow. I can't do anything else. Or I can do all sorts of things, but I can't do. It's the only thing I sort of do properly, most of the time. Sal, why are you such a dick right now? Is this a song that I've heard before? Did I pick the wrong option? Cold Iron. I don't think I've heard this. I think we messed up, chat. Yeah, that much I figured out by myself, thanks. Art first, everything else second, or thousandth. Ever pause to consider things from a perspective other than yours? Hey Sal, why are you such a dick right now? I snarl the words from between my teeth. They taste like poison anyway. Rin is positively alarmed by now, so at least she's not completely dense, but it seems that she just doesn't understand what I'm angry about. I can't believe even she could be so stupid. Hey Sal, what's your problem? I feel like that was definitely the wrong option. I didn't want to. This time it's Rin who interrupts herself in mid-sentence. Don't you understand? No, I can't. Can't what? She doesn't get a word out of her mouth. You never explain yourself. How am I supposed to understand anything if you never say anything? Why don't you ever talk? Say something! But she doesn't. Venting my anger at her feels satisfying, and being satisfied about it feels terrible, but I can't stop myself. I tried to discern some hints of her reaction through my adrenaline-distorted vision. My feedback was not the best kind, but I hope Rin got the clue that she just can't ignore everything else whenever she feels like it. I'd hate it if she didn't. She never ever listens to anything. She's so unaffected by the world around her. Dude, what are you talking about? This isn't... You can't be this... I mean, you're Hasao, you can be this dense, but you can't be this dense, dude. Not this time, it seems. Her body is shaking, like from holding back tears, but I already know that Rin is not crying. Go away. Go away, Hasao. I'm sorry, I can't deal with this. Her voice is tiny and tired as she says this, but I hear the words clear as day. The blunt, hollow remark is a fitting conclusion to this unpleasant discussion that became an even more unpleasant and very one-sided yelling match. I leave the atelier, feeling angry and guilty. I never believed we would end up like this. I'm not like this. Rin is not like this. No matter how infuriating, unbearable, and outrageous Rin is, this is not like her. She really did.
The real answer was Hisao learning that he shouldn't have to understand everything about her.
Seems like it. I figured an attempt to get her to explain herself. Well, not explain herself. I mean, I think that's ultimately what that option actually meant. But you already heard me explain myself. It was more of just trying to make an attempt at communication. But I guess that was the wrong choice. Damn it, my perfect record gone. She really did change, or was it me who changed? Maybe I only thought I knew her. Or maybe I knew the Rin that she isn't. Or was it me who caused all this by talking Rin into seeking her chances at the exhibition? Am I directly responsible for Rin becoming like she has been for the past 2 weeks? I can't think of any explanation for her weird behavior, other than the exhibition and all the things that came along with it. Maybe it was the only way that could have brought us closer, but all it did was separate us further away from each other, and now beyond the reach of either of us. Well, us looking for an answer and Hisao looking for an answer are two different things. Seems like it. Darkness covers the gardens of Yamaku High School, enveloping the small dormitory rooms in the blanket of the night. In one of those rooms, I lie on my bed, tired, so very tired. I gave up. Can't lie to myself that everything is all right, that everything will work out. It's not how things go. Glancing at my watch, I see it's 3:30 at night. I slide my finger over the glass surface of the watch's face. It's been pretty dependable ever since I decided to start wearing it, always knowing what's going on even when I didn't. I turn my head and see the neatly arranged assortment of medicine on my night table. They are dependable too. Things I am going to depend on for the rest of my life. I think of the limited days ahead of me, the infinite vastness of time that opens up in front of others, the time I wasted chasing things out of my reach, time I will never get back. Take off my watch and lay it down on the table. Oh, I see a skip button. That's Reachman's bad ending? Damn, we really messed up. Damn. The first The first bad ending. Oof. These are swapped. Interesting. It seems the order of them is not the same every time. Alright, it doesn't matter. Wait, hold on a second. Let's just reconsider this, you know? No matter if that's how Sao explodes, yeah, really. I'm a hateful person. Ah, I think that's the ticket. Rationally thinking. Rationality, it's literally explained right here. I skipped over these two. I'd ignored them. That was the problem. She's like a stone wall. I just can't reach through to Rin. It's impossible for me. Fine, I don't care. This sounds even worse. You wanted to change? You wanted to destroy yourself? You want this exhibition more than anything, right? Yes. Okay, then do it. She doesn't respond, or even show acknowledgement of understanding. I'm grinding my teeth together, frustrated beyond anything I thought possible. I want to grab Rin's shoulders and shake her until she comes to her senses. I look at her, and in that moment, I know with crystal clear certainty that there is nothing I can do for Rin. None of the words I know would reach her. But still, I think that, for whatever reason, you think it's important that you go this way all the way to the end, even if it's not healthy for you on many different levels. But I'll have nothing to do with it. This is also a terrible option, I think. I can't accept being treated like this and not understanding the reasons for it. I'm finished here. The full weight of what I said sinks in the silent distance between us. Rin doesn't show any reaction, nor even blinks her eyes. She just stares at, or through me, quietly. That's fine. Her voice is perfectly calm, emotionless like an announcement that the 7:30 train will be 7 minutes late. With those words, Rin made her choice, and I made mine. If either of us secretly wanted to change our mind, it's too late for that. We take a hard, long look at Rin, hoping that it conveys my feelings. Without knowing whether it does or not, I leave the atelier for the last time, feeling empty and anxious like so many times before. Well, I think that was the choice. Act 4, Dream. Alright, well, I think that's a good stopping point. Was the other option way earlier than mess up? This is a good question. We're gonna save here because this will be our stopping point. We'll do Act 4 next time. But I just want to see what the other option's like. I can't go back any further right now. What even was the choice you made? Choice again was, I need to understand. Need to understand why. I'm not going to give up, you know. Her shoulders slump and she frowns. I know, I do want to be there for you, but I can't do that unless I know how. So let me do this thing the way I want, that's all. Fine, I don't care. You wanted to change, you want to destroy yourself, you want this exhibition more than anything. Yes, okay, then do it. This is the same. Was the other option way earlier than mess up? Or she even took the job? Oh, no. I don't think so. Yeah, so those were the same. Those options ended up being basically the same. Okay. But yeah, the other option was the mess up. Let's see. How long ago was that? It was a long time ago. It was this one. So we went with you should aim high. But I'm curious if these other ones are any different. I think it'd be a big hit. Let's see what that would be. And you paint with your feet. Don't put. It's not important, buddy. Yeah, this is the same. All right, let's just try one more. Let's try the last option. It'd be exciting. Okay, so yeah, it's basically the same either way. I don't know that option matters much. So I think I just managed to pick the one bad option that looks to the bad end. God damn it, there goes my perfect streak. We had a good thing going, and then I stupidly picked the one bad option. How could I?
What is it with Isao getting himself worked up so much? Doesn't he know he has a weak heart?
Right? At least we know now that, well, at least I know now for when I eventually, play through all the endings. I know how easy it is, or how quick the bad endings show up. Damn, I think she's one of the few characters that has 3 endings. She has a good ending, bad, and neutral. And I managed to get the bad ending. Damn. To be honest, in hindsight, it actually is quite obvious, right? She literally mentioned outside that she can't do words very well, and we asked her to give a wordy explanation. Oh, naturally that's not the problem. So, you know what? That option makes sense. Me messing up that makes sense. Damn it, there goes the... now I can say... now I can't say that I beat Katawa Shoujo and got the good ending the first time every single time. Damn it! Oh well. We know better now. Anyway, still seem very vague to me. Yeah, that can be the problem with, because again, it's another case of, when you click the decision, what he ends up saying can come out completely different than what the dialogue option looks like, which is kind of a problem. If I don't know, it's like the Glassim situation. Some people are gonna know exactly what that means, you know, but not everyone will. It's also a problem with like Fallout 4 dialogue system where they only have like one-word responses, but then your character might say an entire sentence differently. Fallout 4 level dialogue options, exactly. It's a bit better though. They're a bit more they make a bit more sense than sarcastic, yes, no, question. Mass Effect, yeah, I haven't played Mass Effect, but I've seen a little bit of it, so I think I know what you're talking about. Anyway, damn it, oh well. I was doing pretty good, I thought. But that's alright. That's alright. It's alright. Next week we might be able to finish it, because we can usually get an act done in a day, so Rin's Round might be done soon. Which reminds me, I gotta get some art for... Do I have to get Kenji art for Katawa Shoujo? I think for consistency's sake I do. It's not your fault, in my opinion. This route seems intentionally confusing. I don't know. The more I think about it, the more obvious that seems like it was not the right answer. But you're giving me an out, so I'm gonna take it anyway. Thank you. You're right. This route is intentionally confusing, and it's not my fault. I'm perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Anyway, Friday, I think, we're gonna be doing Baldur's Gate 3, which is gonna be interesting because tomorrow, the 15th, Larian releases patch 8? Patch 8, the final patch for Baldur's Gate 3, which includes, I don't know everything it includes, but one thing I do know it includes is new subclasses for every single class. And the Berserker, the Barbarian one, I'm definitely interested in. I'll say that much. I'm not gonna spoil it. You can, of course, look it up if you want. But I'm gonna be reclassing to it immediately, and we're gonna be having a good time with that, I think. Otherwise, that's it for this week. I'm gonna be working on stuff in the background, as always. I think in place of streaming and stuff, I'm gonna try to do a few more community posts throughout the week. So Feel free to comment on those and chat it up with your boy, with your hat. Gunzerker? I wish, that'd be funny. Although it's kind of similar in a way. You'll see what I mean once we actually get in game. Anyway, I'll catch you all next time. See you around.